Come on, Betty, outside.
Live from the state where everything is bigger, it's Texas Motor Speedway for tonight's race at SimRacerHub.com Truck Series for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. My name is Tyler Dittmer, joining the booth as always with Will Tiller, our producer Adam Flieger behind the scenes making this show work for everybody. And Will, to bring you in here tonight, you're at Texas. It's our first mile and a half of the season, our first look at how these drivers are going to handle intermediates in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
Yeehaw! I'm ready for this race here at Texas. Last week's winner, Brady LeBeouf, this is essentially in his backyard right outside Louisiana, right here in the great state of Texas. I cannot wait to see what these drivers have in store for us here tonight. It's been a battle this season, Tyler. Of course, we went from Daytona, last week's race, which was a battle for those drivers as well. And now here tonight at Texas, as you mentioned, our first, like I said before this broadcast started when we were off air, this is a mesmerizing track. This is going to get the drivers feeling comfortable, and then all of a sudden things are going to get crazy here in Texas.
Yeah, like you said, things are going to get crazy because this track is so different from most mile and a half we go to. The banking is flatter than most. The turn 1 and 2 is very wide. Turn 3 and 4 is not as wide, a little bit more banking. So drivers should be able to, with these trucks, go about flat out through 3 and 4. But 1 and 2 is going to pose a big challenge for these drivers, especially as that right front wears. As we look down on this beautiful Texas Motor Speedway, you can kind of see the back of Big Haas, their big television, big screen they have on the backstretch. The driver's going to have to make sure that the glare of Big Haas doesn't bother them as this race will transition from day to night.
What?
Yeah, that's one of the things the drivers have to watch out for, too. A lot of different things here tonight these drivers are going to have to watch out for. That little change in day to night, although it's not going to be a huge change, Tyler, but yeah, so we were talking off air when we came onto the broadcast here. With the newer tires on these cars, or the older tires, it's going to be a little bit tighter on the racetrack. Then you have to factor in what the temperature change and what the darkness is going to change to this track as well. And Tyler, I guess tonight we got the biggest field of the entire season, a full 43-car field here tonight. So it's the biggest race of the year in the biggest state of the country here in Texas.
Well, biggest state of the lower 48. It's not even like I said, the equation here. But like you said, it's a large field, and that means bigger payouts, and on top of that, more points on the line for these drivers. As we look at the field tonight, it's also important to note Triple M Pulling Trucks, sponsor of our Friday Night Truck Series, they're throwing in an extra $20 to the winner tonight, so adding a little bit more cash to the top of that winner's purse for whoever brings home the big one and gets to shoot 6 shooters in victory lane.
Yeah, that's going to be a blast. You get the big 10-gallon hat as well here in this truck series. And Tyler, looking back on last week, it was a crazy race to say the least, run by the boss man himself and Brady LeBeouf. Is there anything that stands out from last week's race that maybe you could see happening here once again here at Texas?
Well, I think you have to look at how this race is planned. Stage 1 is 40 laps. Stage 2 is another 45 laps, and stage 3 will be a 50-lap sprint to the finish. 135 laps on deck tonight, but limited fuel capacity. These trucks' fuel window is only 32 to 37 laps, and they have only 4 sets of tires, so saving that right front is going to be a big deal. We may see tires be a big factor in how this race plays out.
Yeah, that was a huge number that jumped out to me here tonight as well. With only 4 sets of 4 sets of tires, these drivers really have to calculate how to use them, when to pit, and when to use those windows to their perfection.
Yeah, as we're wrapping up practice here, I think this would be a good time to look at some of these practice times already put down as 30 seconds remain in the session. Justin Lumpkin right now leads the way of drivers with a 29.729. Donnie Lyons sitting second with a 29.801. And Adam Newbert third fastest in practice with a 29.821. It's important to note, if you go down to about, looks like 10th on the grid, 29.93, there is about 2/10 of a gap between the leader and 10th place. But from 10th on back, it is a much tighter field. It's, only about a 10th from 10th to, I would say, probably 25th or 30th. So I think you're going to see maybe the front get a little bit stretched thin tonight, but I think you're going to see a lot of great action in the midfield, and we're hopefully going to be able to keep a good eye on it.
Yeah, last week at Pocono, it was definitely a tricky triangle indeed for a lot of these drivers. But now coming from, we raced at Daytona. Of course, Daytona is nothing like Texas. Texas, I would like to say it's like a mix between Atlanta and Charlotte, but a little bit more longer corners there. It's a track that you think and then you don't know halfway through the race here at Texas. But I feel like here tonight, Tyler, we're going to get to see these drivers really see what they have in store for us. It's a good taste of the rest of the season. Looking at those point standings, of course, we got Robert Richards at the top of the table right now with 96 points. We got Brady LaBeouf, the boss man, in second in the overall point standings. Michael Allen right there in third. Brian Shue in fourth. And a name that you said was surprising to you inside of the top 5 in the points, up 10 spots from last week, is Tim Hammond. Tim Hammond comes into this race with 2 starts, 1 top 10, but has racked up a lot of bonus points along the way. We talked about how much bonus points, for some drivers aren't the biggest thing in the world, but other drivers, it could mean the difference between making the playoffs or not. But I believe, Tyler, you're going to catch up with our Hard Luck Award winner, Tyler Thurman, who last week was one of the best drivers out there, just had the hard luck there at the end.
Yeah, now I am joined by Tyler Thurman, one machine for HD Motorsports. And Tyler, you are the Blanchard's Towing and Recovery Hard Luck Award winner from last week. You didn't have the finish you probably deserved. How do you change that mindset coming into tonight's race?
Yeah, it's a long season. You just try to put it behind you. It's nobody's fault. It's just my computer froze up and it cut the connection from me. I thought we had something for LaBeouf last weekend, but I think I could have called him. I would have been really ecstatic about a third top 3 finish, but put that one behind us. And just try to move on. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and I remember watching you chasing down Brady LaBeouf, and I told Brady during one of the stage breaks that I think you were the one driver that had enough speed to beat him, and he agreed to an extent. He saw you come in, saw you as a threat. Unfortunately, you had that mechanical issues, we'll call it in the sim race community, where the computer kind of had some problems for you. But what are you looking for in this race tonight, and how do you think the track's going to play out?
Tire wear, just like Pocono, is a big deal. Track position with the trucks is always a big thing. You need clean air for these trucks to really perform to their full potential. I like being up toward the front. That way you can avoid all the wrecks, other than being in the back trying to avoid them. But, just tire wear and staying out of trouble. And it's a long season. Even with the points, with the stages, you just try to get stage points and try to get a good finish consistently with this format. So a win would be nice, but just a decent top 10 and getting some stage points.
Well, you had a pretty good run in practice. You were top 10. We're going to let you go get your qualifying laps in, but I want to say good luck tonight, and hopefully you have a much better finish to your race.
Thanks, guys. See you guys.
And that was that number 1 HD Motorsports machine of Tyler Thurman. Soon we're going to be joined by Brady LaBeouf, last week's winner in the booth. But right now, Will, like you were saying, surprise names in that top 5 in points. Tim Hammond, 80 points, only 1 top 10 on the season. He's done a lot in those stages and by leading laps to get him up there. But it just hasn't paid out in the end results category, which he's not going to complain about. He's top 5 in points, but it doesn't really help the wallet if you're not finishing in the top 10 in those points-paying positions.
No, definitely not, Tyler. And speaking to him off the broadcast there, I'm friends with him off air here. He was a little upset about what happened last week, to be honest with you. I don't want to air out any dirty laundry, but he actually got wrecked under caution. If you remember there, the yellow flag had come out. We had a driver get loose. It actually went right into the side of him down the backstretch there at Pocono, which ended his night, which would have been, probably not a race victory night per se. Maybe it would have been a top 10 night there for Tim Hammond there inside that truck. But watch out for that here tonight, Tyler. I know we've had some incidents under caution and caution racing here in this series. Watch out for that, as it's a little bit more wider track if we're going to have the same issues here. But as we're watching this already, Tyler, we're back here on the track here at Texas. Drivers are already getting loose, and this is just the qualifying session.
Yeah, we saw Brian Shue while we were discussing the point situation, making contact with the wall off the tee. We're here watching Tyler Thurman coming around for his first qualifying. We'll see what time he puts down there. That's a 31.758. Not a great first lap. We'll see if he can have a better second lap. Maybe we frazzled him a little bit, which we'll feel bad for. The broadcaster's jinx. Speaking of broadcaster's jinx, Justin Lumpkin, who I had said would be a car to beat in the pre-race discussions, Will, top time in practice. He's only second right now on the grid, so he's a little bit frustrated for dominating practice. Almost a 10th clear of second. He's going to right now settle for second in the grid behind Adam Newbert, who is currently your provisional pole sitter.
Yeah, like Allen Iverson once said, are we talking about practice here on the Sim Racer Hub broadcast? And, with him, practice may have been one thing, but the other drivers may have not have been pressing the issue there in their practice session. So it may have been a little bit of a placebo effect there for that truck. But watching Tyler Thurman here in this number one machine, the Hard Luck Award winner last week here, see what kind of run he can put forth. But as we mentioned to start this broadcast off here tonight, a full field, 43 drivers will take the grid here tonight at Texas, but only one will be able to wear that 10-gallon hat and shoot those 6 shooters off in victory lane. And right now, we're setting the grid to see who's going to ride off the number one car. And right now, it's Adam Newbert in that Ford machine. It's bumped off Lumpkin there at the top of the grid. Right now, it looks like Newbert has a 29.9 at the top, 9.26. So just a little bit faster than Lumpkin, and LaBeouf, Brady LaBeouf right there is going to start third currently.
Currently third. Interesting note, Tyler Thurman, Brian Chu, and Charles Keller Jr. all doing 30.152s. They're 15th through 17th on the grid. But speaking of 43 drivers, there's only one driver who won last week's race, and that is Brady LaBeouf. And Will, you're here talking with Brady LaBeouf, last week's winner right here.
Yeah, the Louisiana man himself, Brady LaBeouf. I'm sure it was a nice little celebration there in the Pocono Hills last week after you tamed the Tricky Triangle. The boss man here at Nazareth, Brady, you conquered the Tricky Triangle. You got a great race victory there. You climbed up on the points table as well. How do you keep that momentum, that confidence going here tonight at Texas?
Man, it's just kind of keep pushing forward. It's hard to get some practice in right now with some other leagues going on, but pretty familiar with Texas. Always enjoyed running here. So hopefully we can put on a good show for everybody tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a show indeed. Now, as we were watching that qualifying session, it looks like some of the drivers have difficulty out of 1 and 2. Me and Tyler were speaking about as well. They were able to run some practice laps in their trucks before y'all took the track here tonight. About older tires maybe playing a difference with only 4 sets of tires. How do you, as a driver, calculate that into your strategy here tonight?
Oh, well, you just got to kind of see how the race goes, right? So if you're running, in the top 10 for stage finishes and to get those stage points, you're probably going to take on some tires. But if you're running, 25th on back, you might save in that first stage to have an extra set at the end. But yeah, just 3 and 4, you're flat-footed, the whole way around until, about 30 laps. You can go wide open through 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is the tricky part. You got to arc it in there. You can kind of diamond it in there, and it's who can keep the momentum coming off of 2 is going to win this race tonight.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to roll off third as this qualifying session is going to be winding up here in just a minute. Before we let you go here, you're going to start on that second row here to start off things here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Brady, how do you go back-to-back here tonight? And before we let you go as well, is there anybody you wanted to shout out before you take the green flag here?
Yeah, obviously everybody at Nazareth 360 Racing Network, thank you guys for everything y'all do, and Millie's for coming on and sponsoring this race, Blanchard's Towing and Recovery, and Bolt's Poppers. I think Adam and Justin's going to be tough. Adam's always tough at the 1.5 miles. I got my teammate next to me, Justin White. I know he's going to be pretty good, and Nathan Mauert's always shown some speed, along with I'm seeing Sean Hamilton up there in the top 6, so some really good guys up front. Just kind of see how the first stage goes and just work our way throughout the race. You could be fast, but you got to manage and come up with a little bit of strategy to win these races. So thank you to the wife and kids and everybody at Mission One Esports. So hopefully we'll put on a good one, guys.
Yes, sir, Brady. I'm sure we'll talk to you throughout tonight's race and hopefully in victory lane as well. But, Brady, we appreciate you taking the time with us here, my man, and good luck here tonight.
Yes, thank you, guys.
That was Brady LaBeouf, our race winner last week, Tyler. He tamed the Tricky Triangle, and boy, he tamed it in style. He led the most laps last week, and we'll see if he can repeat that performance here tonight at Texas.
Yeah, as we see qualifying wrapping up here, the final few seconds ticking off. The lights have come on here at Texas Motor Speedway. It will be a pretty much night race for the remainder of this event. Track temperature is going to cool off, which means the tires may last a little bit longer than what these drivers were seeing in practice, but tire wear is still going to be a concern. And it is official. Adam Newbert is your pole sitter, and we're going to try and get him in here for a quick little interview to talk about how his pole run went and what he thinks he has for the race as a whole. Adam Newbert, you are in the NASRA 360 racing booth. You got a copy?
All right.
Awesome. Well, Adam, you are our pole sitter tonight. You throw down a blistering 29.926, a little bit slower than your practice time, but we see you with Sick With It Motorsports. You see Justin Lumpkin up there as well. Do you have what it takes, you think, to hold off the man who dominated practice?
I hope so. If you go back and look at the practice times, we were actually the fastest truck that didn't have assistance from the draft. So I think we're going to kind of hold that on my shoulders and then hopefully have a good race and stay out of the trouble. Last week we were really fast at Pocono. Got up to second got up to second at the end of stage 1, and then we got wrecked out in stage 2 or something that was out of our control. So hopefully keep the truck clean and have a good finish tonight.
How important is it, explaining to the fans, like, having that clean air in front, especially at a track like Texas where 1 and 2 is just so difficult and is going to tear up that right front?
Yeah, it's super important. You're going to have a lot of aero push going through 1 and 2 tonight, so hopefully we can stay out of that, keep the truck up front, and then that'll obviously help us save tires in the long run, having less of an aero push.
Well, again, we want to congratulate you on winning your Pulse Popper Pole Award here tonight, starting P1 next to your teammate from Sick With It Motorsports, Justin Lumpkin. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we send you back to your team chat?
Yeah, teammate here. Hopefully we can control this race early on. And out to thank Jeff Sickles, our team owner. And then obviously we got Zach Hartwick. Looks like he's got a pretty good starting position in 9th. And then Brian Chu, our other teammate, starting back in 17th. So hopefully we'll have a good race tonight.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Thank y'all.
That was our pole sitter, but now you're looking at the starting grid for the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. As we'll just rattle off the top 10. We have a big field tonight, and only one lap for the pace lap, so we'll go through the top 10 quickly here. Adam Newbert, your pole sitter. Justin Lumpkin, the Sick With It Motorsports teammates on the outside of row number 1. Brady LaBeouf rolling off 3rd. Justin White, his teammate, rolling off 4th. Nate Maurer in 5th. Sean Hamilton 6th. Mike McKinnon rolls off 7th. Mike Allen will roll off 8th. Zach Hartwick, another Sick With It Motorsports team member, rolling off 9th. And Tyler Daniels with the BP Racing for Autism entry, rolling off 10th, and probably one of his best qualifying efforts all year. So good to see that number 95 machine starting up near the field tonight, as it's going to be a fun one. And looks like we're going to extend this pace laps by 1 lap just because we have such a large field. Looks like 40 drivers officially made it in the session. Well, that should make for some entertaining racing tonight.
Oh, if the viewers haven't had enough of entertainment the past couple weeks, from the 3 weeks that we spent at Daytona during those speed weeks to the Tricky Triangle last week to now at Texas, a track that really mesmerizes everybody, a track that is difficult in any series of race car. And when now tonight we have a 43 truck field, oh my goodness, we're going to have some fireworks here tonight.
Yeah, so you look at one of the nice things about Texas is they really do go all out. You saw those yellow flashing lights on the catch fence there. One of the unique things about Texas, kind of it reminds me of the glowing cactus on the flag stand at Phoenix. Well, just something a little extra pizzazz that the tracks like to do to make them unique. Obviously, Texas Motor Speedway having Big Hoss on the backstretch, but as we see 40 hungry drivers ready to roll tonight, this should be a very entertaining and very exciting race for what many consider to be sometimes a little bit of a dull track.
Yeah, and watch out for this field here tonight as well, folks at home, because you're going to see some of these drivers that you might see on your TV screens right now that, let's say, are in the 30s, the 20s starting position, really make their way up the grid. We've seen it the past couple weeks here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Some of these drivers just kind of wait their time. They wait for everything to ensue in front of them, the chaos to ensue, the yellow flags to come out, and then they slowly but surely make their way up the grid. And one of those drivers, I'm going to watch the 7 truck of Kerry Tribune, going to roll off in the 35th position right there, position we're not used to seeing him there in that 7 truck. But Tyler, I cannot wait for this green flag to drop, and I can't wait to see the pace when we get things on and popping here.
Yeah, as we get ready, truck drivers here, 40 laps in this first stage. We're ready to go. Adam Newbert will lead the field to green as they're waiting to get to that Geico start zone, and the green flag is underway. Adam Newbert leads the field as the drivers are getting a little apprehensive coming into turn 1, but we have a big field tonight, so we're looking back through it.
Yeah, very calm and calculated start to the race here tonight as Adam Newbert's going to ride that inside lane off of corner number 2 down the backstretch. He is all by himself, but we're already 3 wide off of corner number 2 as we're racing down the backstretch, watching Brady LaBeouf try to hold on position.
Brady LaBeouf with Justin White to his outside. Now he's got another driver to his outside. That's the number 89 machine of Sean Hamilton. He's looking to make a move off of 3 and 4 here. He will not get it done this time, but he should have a good run coming to the stripe. Nosing out Brady LaBeouf just barely. Justin White sitting third. The Sick With It Motorsports boys are gone at the front with Adam Newbert and Justin Walker.
Yeah, they've already linked up. They've already checked out of their Holiday Inn suites right now, coming off of corner number 2. They are gapping right now 1 and 2 from the rest of the field. Meanwhile, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are trying to battle for position 1 and 2. Have jetted off, coming off of corner number 4 already down the front stretch. They'll lead lap number 2.
Sean Hamilton using the outside to gain another position, this time on Justin White, as he'll get to the stripe. These drivers need to get single file to try and reel back in those front 2. They can't be racing for position too hard this early. It looks like Brady LaBeouf not wanting to be right behind Justin White gets a little tight, and Nate Maurer is going to look to his inside off of 2.
Yeah, Nate Maurer had an excellent run last week there in that 971 machine. We'll see if he can repeat here tonight. He is side by side with Brady LaBeouf on the apex of 3 and 4. Brady's rocking that high side lane to see if that works for him here early in this race here at Texas as we race down the front stretch down to corner number 1. Still Newbert as our race leader.
Yeah, 3 laps complete. Brady's going to give up that position and fall back to 6th. Right behind him, though, you have Michael McKinnon, that number 13 machine, followed by Jason Morales and Michael Allen in what is a bee's nest of drivers and trucks. Zach Hartwick there in the number 6 with Jonathan Wiley in that 0 machine on the outside. He's looking for a move.
And Tyler, I gotta say, I do not like bees. I do not like getting stung by bees. And in this beehive of drivers right here, you are bound to get stung. We saw it last week at Pocono. Some of these drivers tried to get ultra aggressive, go 3 wide, 4 wide early in this race. But you gotta watch out for that. If you suffer early damage, it's gonna be a tough uphill battle, especially with 43 trucks here tonight as we come down the backstretch. So a little bit apprehensive right now, Tyler. Not a lot of drivers really pushing the envelope right now. We were single file coming off of 4.
Jason Morales had to jive out of that position. He loses about 10 spots on that corner through 1 and 2 last time. Looks like he was going to come up to Michael Allen, had to lift way out of the gas, and he got eaten alive. He is outside the top 10 now. Jonathan Wiley, who got wrecked out last week in a big wreck for the Hoosier Daddy Motorsports team, is looking to have a bounce-back finish. Was really good in our recruitment races here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, but he has yet to find himself near the front at the end of one of these races. But he's trying to make a pass on Michael Allen in that 60 machine.
Yeah, I'm already starting to see some of these trucks get a little bit of a wiggle to them here early in this run. Folks, we're not even 10 laps into this race, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a slide from the nose of some of these trucks. Could just be some of these drivers pushing their trucks a little bit further than what they want to right here coming off of 2. But we're starting to see now the drivers getting a little bit of a wiggle to them, a little bit of a bob and weave as we head down 3 and 4 right now. Still Newbert right leading the way, but it looks like Hamilton has caught them there in the HG Motorsports truck.
I was going to say that HD Motorsports number 89 has closed that gap to the front 2. Now it's a 3-car breakaway up front. Justin White now sitting in fourth. He's going to try to be the next one to bridge the gap. He doesn't seem to have the speed right now. Brady LaBeouf gets a huge run up on Nate Maurer that time in 1 and 2. He can't make the pass stick. He's going to have to look at it again. 3 and 4 as Hartwick's to the inside, looking to the inside of Jonathan Wiley down the backstretch, but he will not have enough speed to make that move.
Yeah, still single file down into 3 and 4 coming down the front stretch right now. We see a little bit of a movement there on the back side of the grid. No movement in 1, 2, 3 positions right now as we're a single file line coming down the front stretch right now down into corner number 1. Still Newbert is our race leader. A lot of these drivers are trying to jockey for position on the back side of this run right now. Brady LaBeouf still in the middle lane coming off of 1 and 2 right now. Not a lot of change right now as it looks like Brady LaBeouf still trying to get around. Nathan Maurer coming down into 3.
First side-by-side battle is Tyler Thurman to the inside of Tyler Daniels. That's for 10th position. Thurman's going to get the position here off of 4. Everyone else will get single file back in line. We don't have another side-by-side battle till well deep into the pack where it looks like Donnie Lyons and Brandon Bullock are side-by-side for about 19th and 20th. Other than that, though, it seems to have gotten single file out early. These drivers got to be wary, though. I think our leaders may be catching the tail end of this field here soon.
There's Bullock in that 17 truck trying to hold on position there. Not going to look like it's going to be enough to hold on. Now we're looking at Robert Richards there in that 48. And there's Kerry Tribute in that 7 truck. Kerry's had a up and down type season here, 3 races in. Started out really strong, Tyler, but here tonight it's going to roll off around the 34th, 35th position. So we'll see what kind of momentum he can carry here in this race, if he can work up through the grid. We've seen it a lot out of that 7 truck, the driver's skill here in this series. We'll see if it comes out here tonight. We're going to check in with the 42 truck of Steve Barrett right there, jockeying for position down into the corner, see if he can overtake right now. But as you mentioned, Tyler, there's only just a few battles that are taking place here on the racetrack as we head down the front stretch.
Barnett looking to the inside of Tyler Daniels for looks to be 12th now. He'll get that position. Now other drivers are going to follow him through. Brian Chu looking inside of Tyler Daniels. He's going to try and hold it. He's going to make a little bit of a slide job. Daniels hits the lift. Chu will take the position. Raul Meza looking to capitalize on Daniels lifting, going to try and collect position at number 14 there from Daniels. Daniels starting to fall back through the field after probably a career best qualifying effort at 1.5 miles. So tough to see, but now we're looking towards the front of the field. Tyler Thurman starting to work his way forward after a subpar qualifying effort. He's to the outside of Jonathan Wiley.
Our Hard Luck Award winner from last week trying to turn his luck around here tonight with a better performance in that truck. It's cool to get an award after the race. Maybe not that award, Tyler, as tonight he wants to get the award for winning the race here at Texas, not being the
contact between Herman and Jonathan Wiley. Wiley's up into the wall in turn 4. They keep it straight for now, but that's not going to look great. Thurman not making himself any friends early on here, especially with the Hoosier Daddy Motorsports 0-0 of Jonathan Wiley. Sorry to interrupt there, Will, but that was almost a very scary moment.
No, it is all right, Tyler, and I'm actually going to refer to your interview with Thurman to start off tonight's race. You know, he had kind of that sense to him that he wasn't very happy with what went down at Pocono last week. He was just going to race his race here tonight, and if anybody didn't like it, then so be it. He does not want to win the Hardest Luck Award winner anymore. He wants to win races here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, and we see him here tonight with a different mindset and a different ability behind the wheel of that truck.
Well, there's been a lead change up front, and that's Justin Lumpkin, your new leader from Sickwith and Motorsports in that 18 machine. He has taken over the position from his teammate Adam Newbert in the 4, who has fallen about half a second off of his teammate, a little bit more it looks like. It's a little bit concerning as Lumpkin's starting to gap. Hamilton, Maurer, and Justin White are lining up behind Newbert trying to get by.
Yeah, Lumpkin, as you mentioned, was the fastest truck in practice, had a subpar qualifying run there, but now has found the speed under the hood of that truck as we come off of corner number 2. As you mentioned, he is gapping now the second place position. Looks like we get about a 4-truck battle up there at the top of the grid as the 18 truck's going to take us around 3 and 4 down the front stretch.
Yeah, as we're coming to the end of lap 16, stage 1, again, 40 laps. We are not yet to halfway, but we have gone green all of the race so far. Looking at lap 17 starting, Lumpkin starting to pull away even more as the battle for second heats up. Looks like Newbert's going to have some company here soon.
Yeah, and an interesting fact to this run here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching at home on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, we calculated the fuel lap window is going to be around 32 to 37. So these drivers have to maybe make a green flag pit stop here. Or if you want to think about it in this sense, if you want to press the issue to get to lap 40, you can get those bonus points, which do come in handy. We talked about Tim Hammond there inside of the top 5 in points, how those bonus points are benefiting him here early in this season. So you could push the envelope just a little bit, or you can get down pit road early to make sure you have the freshest fuel and the freshest tires for that last run in stage number 1.
Ryan Chu hits the wall hard off of 2, similar to his qualifying effort. That checks out Raul Meza, allowing Tyler Daniels, Steve, and Michael Allen to get by. That right side of his truck, as you see right there, a big scrape. He hit that wall pretty considerably. That should probably hurt his handling later in the run. So you have a 2-wide battle up in front of him for looks like 12 between Michael Allen and Tyler Daniels as they're closing in on Steve McMillan.
Yeah, they're 3 wide. They're thinking about going 3 wide, but it's not going to be enough right there as things are just going to simmer down for just a solid minute. Down into corner number 3 and 4. We see that 60 truck right there trying to get a better run here tonight. That's Allen right there in that 60. They're going to single file once again right up there. So the 3 wide battle we thought we saw ensuing right there, Tyler, is going to simmer down for just a minute as we head down to 1 and 2.
Ryan Chu really struggling. As you see, he's fallen off of Raul Meza's back bumper. Really having a hard time handling that car. Interesting of note, though, Michael Allen is currently your #1 point scorer outside of the 2 winners. So he is 3rd right now in the season-long standings, that 60 machine. He's having a great season so far, looking to keep up the momentum. I mean, with the fact that you're not going to have probably a different win, 16 winners getting into the playoffs based on how long your season is, it has to be comforting knowing you have a pretty early points lead, even though it may not be up by a lot. Although it looks like it's by 9 points over Brian Chu, 2nd in points without a win. So Michael Allen's already building a decent enough points lead. That's 9 positions on the track. And Brian Chu struggling as he hits the wall again off the 2, as we see right there, as the 79 of Donnie Lyons will go by.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to chew up the wall there, Brian Chu, in that truck. That right side is going to be all tore up. You know, Ross Chastain made it work, but that was the last lap. You can chew up that right side, and oh my goodness, Tyler, with this overhead shot of that truck. Oh man, it looks like a scratch and sniff right on the right side of that truck.
Yeah, Brian Chu's going to have a handful the rest of this race, especially if we have long green flag runs like this throughout. But before we had the conversation when Chu hit the wall, we were saying about the fuel window being 32 or 37 laps, and that is going to be extremely interesting as we come later into this stage. We're on lap 23 now, leader on lap 23. We only have about 18 laps to go to the end of the stage, but fuel is running out.
Yeah, fuel is definitely running out. These tires are getting older. And you spoke about it here, Tyler, before we came on air. You know, you and our producer took the track in your own trucks before these drivers took the track here tonight. And y'all learned a key fact. On 1 and 2, on older tires, these trucks begin to become a little bit more tighter. As I mentioned here, as we started this race, I saw the nose started to wiggle. We saw these drivers try to push the 3-4 wide. The tighter the truck gets here tonight, the harder it's going to be to make those moves, to get around one another. It's going to be hard to navigate these corners. So watch out for a little bit more contact here as we wrap up stage number 1.
Stage number 1 has had pit stops already. Cody Knott is down pit road. Truck looks clean, so this seems to be a fuel strategy call. We currently have 2 other drivers who've also pitted. Christopher Blanchard and Brandon Bullock have also both come down pit road. I think even Matthew Hutchinson has come down pit road. So important to note, these drivers, and Brady LaBeouf is down pit road as well. These drivers are realizing that we're going to have a green flag run all of stage 1, and they are pitting now.
Yeah, this is exactly where they want to go right now. Go ahead and get those pit stops out of the way. You're going to have about 13 laps to go here in this run. Calculating a little bit more, maybe around 26 laps. I'm not a mathematician, but 16 laps to go there, Tyler. Hey, no, that's why they put me behind a microphone, not behind a calculator.
15 laps to go now as Lumpkin takes the start of lap 26, and that gap that he had over Newber is getting smaller as we have a tight battle here for 3rd with Justin White underneath Sean Hamilton. He's looking to make the pass. It looks like Hamilton's truck is starting to give way handling-wise, but the pit stops are definitely happening as we've had 4 different drivers come down pit road. Now it's a lap down. Looks like Matthew Hutchinson has hit the wall hard enough that his race may be done. He is 3 laps down currently.
Yeah, made 3 laps down with 40 total drivers here tonight. It's going to be tough there, Tyler. This is not a type of race that you can really make your comeback in, especially at a track like this. Maybe at Pocono, you had a slim chance of coming back in a race like that, but not here at Texas. The way that these trucks just cruise around this track here tonight, we haven't seen even one caution out here. I may have just said the commentator's curse there. We might have a caution here soon. But no cautions here on the racetrack. So if you get in trouble early, I don't want to say your race is over, but it's becoming almost like a restore mission there at that point. Get out, run some laps, finish as best as you can at that point.
Well, Michael Allen from a top 10 spot is also pitted, so these drivers definitely thinking they are not going to have enough to make, as Adam Newber has closed the gap on Justin Lumpkin. Hasn't been leading, so he probably has burned less fuel than Lumpkin. Lumpkin out front has definitely been on the gas the most, having clean air. He hasn't had to lift as much in the 1 and 2. He's been able to run his line and control the race the way he's wanted to. Newbert's starting to close that gap. Lumpkin may be entering a fuel-saving mode a little bit here to try to get to the end of this first stage. We're now down 12 laps to go in stage 1. I don't know if he's going to have enough fuel to do it.
No, like I mentioned just a few laps ago, I'm sure we're going to see some drivers that are going to try to push that envelope, try to get to the end of the stage, get those bonus points out of the way. But as we mentioned, though, there's already been drivers that have headed down pit road. Brady LaBeouf, last week winner in that 9 truck, is one of those trucks that got that early pit stop out of the way. Now you see Newbert in that 4 is going to head down pit road now. Obviously, his fuel window closed on him there in that 4 truck, so you see where drivers are going to stay out here for just a little bit longer, but we might have a reshuffling of the grid here with about 4 or 5 laps to go here in the stage.
Justin Lumpkin just called out he is pitting this time, I believe. So we should be handing over to a new leader after this cycle of laps comes through. But important to note, lap window we thought would be 32 to 37. We're only on lap 30. These guys are pitting early. That's a risk. If a caution comes out, all those drivers who did not pit, they could probably stay out, trap all of these drivers a lap down, not pit till the end of the stage, and then the entire complexion of this race changes dramatically.
Now, our window may be correct there, Tyler, but could it be just the fact that these drivers know that stage number 1 is going to end around lap 40, and maybe waiting until that number of around 32 to 37 might be a little bit too late?
Maybe, but the concern is you're not getting tires for this pit stop. You can't afford to take tires. They only have 3 extra sets, so it's just too much of a risk, in my opinion, to get the tires at this point. You kind of just have to run what you have and just kind of see how it shakes out. Get the fuel when you think it may benefit you, as we have a tight battle here and throughout the field now. As trucks are coming off and on pit road, things are getting much more bunched up. So we're seeing these drivers kind of close in, but we have a great battle for first up here between 3 trucks.
Yeah, Nathan Maurer right there keeps pushing his nose to the left fender of White there in that 28, but now it looks like Nathan Maurer is going to head down pit road. Obviously, his fuel window is closed as well, as it looks like White's going to overtake the lead, but Hamilton right there in that 89 truck has just kept his cool right up there. He's been third about essentially the entire race here tonight, Tyler, just kind of letting himself known right there in the 3rd position. Now he's in a great position to maybe snatch some bonus points out of stage number 1.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of interesting that because of these drivers not having extra sets of tires, you're not going to see drivers who pit just magically come out of nowhere and be fast enough to unlap themselves naturally, as you see 1st and 2nd both pitting with White and Hamilton down pit road. So important to note, you're not going to see these oh, and that was a close moment for Barnett coming down pit road. He got really loose and almost into the back of it, looked like Hartwick and Meza. These drivers are going to have a tough time, getting on pit road, as we see the whole field that hadn't pit yet coming in. Oh, there's contact between Cantwell and it looks like the 39 of Hagen, I believe. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe Matthews of some sort, but a little bit of contact on pit road, and that's something we got to keep an eye on.
Just like the barbecue in Texas, things are getting saucy here down pit road. And we see a bunch of drivers heading down right now with about 6 laps to go here in stage number 1. We're going to have a reshuffling of the grid. We'll see who's going to be on the top of the grid here when everything reshuffles here, as we see Kerry Tribute head down that 7 truck. Kerry's
and caution is out. Caution is out, and that's huge.
Caution is out on the racetrack.
That is a big turn of events, Will, and I thought something like this may happen. We'll have to wait for timing and scoring to update itself and see if anyone had stayed out as the leader before pitting. Looks like no. Nathan Maurer is currently your leader, Adam Newbert 2nd, Justin Lumpkin 3rd. So it looks like the top drivers had all pit. But it'll be interesting to see if anyone gets trapped a lap down, as I think Jonathan Wiley, Cody Sanderson, James Lowry, Torrey Thompson, Evan Cantwell, Dan Matthews are all going to get trapped a lap down.
We'll see what exactly brought out that caution here. And then as their 360 Racing, oh, that's it. The 35 truck's just going to nosedive in an inside wall.
I'm not exactly sure who that is. I don't have a 35 on my timing and scoring. Ricky Allen. That's an interesting way to exit pit road there, to say the least, Will.
And you see him on exit there. He's smooth there, just getting up to speed. Ooh, I don't know. That looks like a tricky one to me there, Tyler. It just looks like he didn't accelerate too hard to get totally sideways there. Maybe it was an equipment failure there that maybe sent him into the inside wall. Maybe something was steering. I don't know. That's a tough replay to look at there, especially it's a tough one to bring out our first caution of the night here.
I'm wondering if he maybe accidentally downshifted instead of upshifting. Which would have caused the car to truck to over rev and snap loose. Because that's what it looks like. That is about where we can probably see the revs here. And yeah, it looks like he downshifted. No, that was way too big of a jump to be a downshift, I think.
Yeah, very interesting there to see that out of Ricky Allen, but good on him to stay put there. As we're going to see that in-car camera view of him, he had a herd coming behind him of other trucks, so good on him to go ahead and stay put there, let those other guys go by. For Ricky Allen, though, that didn't look like too hard of a contact there. Obviously, it's a little bit of a cosmetic damage there to the nose, as some people would say, not what little plastic surgery can't fix there to the nose, but he'll be all right there, Ricky Allen. He's going to have a long way to go now through that grid as we saw those herd of trucks come from behind him, but very, very early here tonight in Texas.
Yeah, Jonathan Wiley will be your lucky dog winner, so he'll at least cycle back to the lead lap end of the longest line. Ricky Allen was given an EOL for bringing out that caution for an interesting incident, to say the least, and he'll have probably a little bit of damage to repairs. He was probably going at least 70, 80 miles an hour when that incident happened, so he hit the wall hard enough. Matthew Hutchinson, who's 3 laps down, is coming back down pit road to get some repairs. It seems the right side of his truck's pretty beat up. Yeah, other drivers, though, throughout the field down pit road. Looks like Christopher Blanchard is also on pit road. Maybe a strategy call, pitting now, not pitting at the end of the stage. He was on the lead lap, sitting about 18th, so this may be an interesting strategy call here for the 14 driver.
Yeah, very interesting indeed, because I was just about to mention to you, Tyler, when this green flag drops, we're probably going to have about 2 or 3 laps to go here in the stage, so essentially a green-white checker to end this stage out here, so very interesting to see some of these drivers head down pit road.
Yeah, and the big thing is we have a new leader up front, someone who hasn't led most of the race tonight, and that's Nathan Maurer. We're going to go through and do a top 10 run-through real quick just to get you guys situated with everything that happened under those green flag stops. Your current race leader, Nate Maurer, sitting in number 1. Adam Newbert moved up to 2nd on that pit cycle. Justin Lumpkin sits 3rd. Justin White will sit 4th. Tyler Thurman, after pitting early, he'll cycle up to 5th. Brady LaBeouf will cycle out to 6th. Michael McKinnon 7th. Raul Meza will sit 8th. Harry Tribune, starting all the way in the back of the pack at 35th. He's now 9th. And 10th is Jason Morales.
Yeah, very interesting top 10 right up there, Tyler. You have drivers that have been running inside the top 5 majority of the race. And then, like I mentioned when we started this broadcast off, some of those drivers that may have started in the 20s and 30s have now worked their way up the grid now, have put themselves in position. You know, a lot of those drivers up there didn't have the best qualifying runs up there, maybe not have had the best practice session either. But now they're comfortable inside their trucks. They know how to run this track here. They've made the proper adjustments as well. And now some of these drivers here could get a good shot at some bonus points.
Important to note, tonight we also have an additional Hard Charger award. You only get it, though, if you put in a qualifying time. So, unfortunately, Kerry Chibu, despite starting 35th, is not eligible for the Pulse Poppers Hard Charger award because he did not post a qualifying time. Currently, your leader in the clubhouse with a qualifying time and positions gained, I want to say, is Travis Burtzer, qualified 28th, currently sitting 12th. Other competitive names, though, for that award would be Tyler Thurman, started 18th, sitting in 5th currently.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those awards that you want to win here tonight. The Hard Luck Award winner, yeah, that's not the best one to win. But the Hard Charger Award knows or solidifies yourself in knowing that you left everything on the table here. You raced your truck to where the wheels fell off. You gained as many positions on that grid as you could until that checker flag flew. So even though you weren't the race winner, heck, it might even be the race winner at the end of this, Tyler. But we shall wait and see, as it looks like we're about to go green flag racing here once again.
Yeah, Nate Maurer will lead the field to a green-white checker to end stage 1. Maurer on the inside of row number 1. Number 2 is outside 8. The Geico restart zone and green flag is underway. Maurer with a big jump over Newbert as there's a dogfight for 3rd there between Lumpkin and White.
As it looks like we might have just a one-lap shootout here. This is lap 39. The stage is going to end on lap 40. So these drivers are going to know that over the radio that you have to put the pedal to the floor if you want any bonus points here in stage number 1. And it looks like some of these drivers are getting the message loud and clear as we're seeing a 2-wide.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And there we go. I guess that's going to put an end to stage number 1 here, Tyler. As I mentioned, we didn't have many cautions out there. It's very lackadaisical start, almost a single file line most of the race there to start things out. Now we have 2 cautions back to back.
As the old adage goes, well, cautions breed cautions. As we're going to look at the on-the-pole instant replay here to see what exactly happened there. But your stage winner will be Nate Maurer once he comes back around here. Nate Maurer will win stage number 1. Second, Adam Newbert, Justin Lumpkin third, Justin White fourth, Tyler Thurman fifth, Brady LaBeouf sixth, Raul Meza seventh, Mike McKinnon eighth, Kerry Tribune ninth, and Jason Morales all winning stage points here, top 10.
Yeah, very crazy end to stage number 1 there, folks. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight, the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. What a stage 1 how it was, Tyler. Like I said, a very kind of slow start to it. Didn't have a lot of action there, single file lanes. We had a few battles for positions on the racetrack. But I'd have to say my hat's off to Nathan Maurer there to kind of working his way up there as we take a look at what brought out that caution.
Looks like the caution's already out at this point, but those might have been the trucks involved per se. We'll have to get a better rewind throughout the field. Not really sure what exactly happened. Such a large field, internet can sometimes other drivers' internet can be a hamper to the broadcast. So we'll have to wait and see. But the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here at Texas, so it's not disappointed. And once all the drivers come through their pit cycles, we will talk to our stage 1 winner, Nathan Miller.
Yeah, and as I mentioned there, Tyler, before we get a chance to speak with Nathan did a great job of working through the grid. We saw him before those cautions started to come out. He was trying to make moves there after those pits took place. He was starting to go to the inside, starting to try to find windows there. Of course, as other caution flags flew, he had the opportunity to roll off first or after those pit stops as well. But now Nate picking up those bonus points there, and if he can keep the way he's been racing here tonight, we saw a strong performance out of him last week at Pocono. See if he can keep that momentum going here tonight.
Yeah, as we're going to bring in our stage 1 winner, the 971 Brute Force Motorsports machine of Nathan Maurer. Nathan, you cycled out to the lead under the green flag stops. Maybe caught a little bit of a break with that caution and a 1-lap sprint before the other caution into the stage. What's it feel like to get that win and get that stage point?
We got wrecked by the same guy 2 weeks in a row. Feels good to rebound with the stage 1 finally. So hopefully keep the momentum going here from this first stage and pull out at least a top 3 or top 5 tonight, maybe even a win. See what happens. I raced with Adam Newbert and Justin Lumpkin and a couple other leagues before, so I know they're good guys, so they're going to be hard to beat, but hopefully this thing stays green. We can win it on pit road. I feel like I'm really good on and off of pit road, so see what happens.
Yeah, as we saw last week, you were near the front, got wrecked out pretty much while leading the race. An unfortunate end to the hometown race there in Pocono, Pennsylvania for you. But you come to Texas, seeming to be turning over a new leaf, getting through stage 1, getting that stage win. How are you going to approach this second stage?
I got to save tires. Me and my teammate, I guess we're not really teammates, but real life we're teammates. Justin White started catching and passing in boys there towards the end of that run. Just got to save tires here. Everybody likes to overdrive turn 1, and they start pushing off of 2, and that's where you make your passes at. So just need some long green flag runs here.
Well, Nathan, hopefully you'll finish this one with no issues per se, unlike what we saw in Pocono last week. Wish you the best luck rest of the way, and hope you can bring this one home and maybe a podium position. We'll hopefully be able to talk to you after the race.
Okay, thanks, guys. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you as well. That was your stage 1 winner, Nate Maurer, as we're trying to get the grid set up for stage number 2, which will end at the end of lap 85, Will.
So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a longer stage here, so curious to see how those pit stops take place now. We saw a lot of drivers head down early there in that stage 1 window. A few drivers stayed out a little bit later there, pushed the envelope a little bit. We saw the leaders stay out there, ran out of fuel, had to head down pit road. But now with 5 extra laps here in stage number 2, I'm curious to see if we see the same strategy being played in stage number 1 that we see these drivers, or are these drivers going to know that their window now, as we talked about, it's about 32 to 37 laps. You're going to know that you have about 10 laps to go there, so it might be beneficial to get that pit stop in that window and then finish it out there in the 45 laps we're going to run here in stage number 2.
It's going to be a long second stage here. By the time we go green, we'll probably be about 42 laps in this stage. Important to note, we have only 29 remaining trucks on the lead lap after starting 40 on the grid. A couple of trucks are only a lap or two down, but we do have, it looks, 6 trucks that are 4 laps down or greater. Those trucks are probably taking it behind the garage. We are unsure at this time. Interesting to note, new leader Brian Chu, we saw him hit the wall a couple times, Will, in stage 1. We'll see if he has any speed left in that truck to hold off the field in this green flag.
Yeah, we'll have to see there, but what a way it would be. It's almost like Pocono last week, where a lot of the trucks we saw down in Victory Lane or finished inside the top 5. I think Brady LaBeouf's car, or truck, even had a little bit of damage there. A lot of those cars were damaged that finished inside the top 5, but here we go, Tyler, as we're cruising down. The green flag is in the air once again here at Texas.
And Brian Chu did not fire off well, definitely down on power. Mowers all over his back bumper, looking to the inside in 1. He's going to try and make it stick on the bottom in 1 and 2. And it's going to get tight, but he's going to have to settle behind Chu, exiting 2. But Chu's going to shoot up the track. That should give Maurer a look to the inside coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't think Maurer is going to be comfortable in that position, as he's going to shoot past him there to the inside, down on the entry of 3. There comes Newbert there in that 4. He's going to try the 3 wide right there. Looks like Chu has some speed, though, on the outside lane. As we come off of 4, we're drag racing down the front stretch.
Yeah, as I said earlier before the broadcast started, 3 and 4, you don't necessarily have to worry about tires as much, which means you can pedal to the metal through that corner. And that helped Chu, as he was able to get through 3 and 4 well, but he's going to struggle in 1 and 2 again. It looks like Maurer might be able to clear. Yes, he will clear Chu off of 2, coming down the backstretch into 3 and 4. New leader, Nathan Maurer.
Looks like Newbert's going to follow him there on the apex of 3 and 4. Newbert, though, started on the top of the grid here tonight. Faded for just a little bit there. Has now got himself back into contention. Now he's trying to make a move on Nathan Maurer there. He's not content in the second position as he goes to the inside here on the apex of 1 and 2. Coming off of 2, we have a drag race for the lead. Nope, never mind that, as Newbert's going to easily get by Nathan Maurer there on the exit of 2, as they are side by side, now heading down to the entry of 3 and 4.
Lumpkin will clear Maurer easily in 3 and 4. He'll cycle up to 2nd. Maurer drops to 3rd. Justin White finally gets by Brian Chu off of 4. Cody Trantham, Mr. Where did he come from? Haven't heard from him much all night. He's trying to cycle up to 5th on the inside of Brian Chu, entering 1 and 2.
Yeah, what a beautiful shot there as Adam Newbert there in that Ford machine. We turn it up for just a minute for the folks at home watching along with us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network right now as we're racing around 3 and 4 here at Texas.
As we watch these trucks make their way through the field, a beautiful move by Tyler Thurman to the inside of Cody Trantham as we watch these trucks thunder through the front stretch of Texas Motor Speedway. Nothing has changed in the front 4 up front. Well, we kind of saw that coming with the restart. We knew Brian Chu had been in the wall a couple times, didn't have the speed, and we're seeing him drop like a rock throughout the field. Brady LaBeouf looks to his inside, and Michael McKinnon, Christopher Blanchard, and more are looking at him.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit discouraging there inside the cockpit of that 51. Although he must know he does have damage to the side of that truck. It's going to be hard to maintain position, as now you're starting to see a few trucks stack up behind him there, knowing that Chu can't keep pace with the rest of the pack. And they have to get by him as fast as possible as we come off of 1 and 2 right here. And if they don't link up in that single file lane there, as we're about to go 4 wide down the backstretch right here, things are going to get crazy on the entry of 3.
Bobby Richards does not care how he gets the pass done, just that he gets this done. He won at Daytona, finished, I believe, 2nd last week at Pocono. Has had a stellar start to his season, and he's going to move up to the top 5. Oh, Mesa goes through the grass on the front stretch to try and avoid Michael McKinnon and Brian Chu.
Yeah, Raul Meza there engaged that 4x4 button as he went off-roading in his truck, as he's going to hold position there to the inside. Are going to look up the grid just a little bit as we have another battle on our hands. Looks like Brady LaBeouf and Kerry Cherbu are side by side right here on the racetrack on the apex of 3 and 4. Kerry Cherbu started way back in the field. Oh, he smacks the wall hard coming off of 4 all by himself, as Brady LaBeouf's going to go zooming by down in the entry of 1.
Brady LaBeouf apologizes for maybe taking some air off of that left rear of Kerry Tribute. New leader up front, though, Justin Lumpkin gets by his teammate again. As we saw a long run, Hubert would be able to be closing that gap, so we'll see how this stage plays out. Important to note, though, these drivers are just absolutely flying on this Texas Motor Speedway. We're already on lap 51 of 135. Top 6 all single file before we get to a battle for 8th between Cody Trantham and week 1 winner, Robbie Richards.
Yeah, there goes Robbie Richards right there in that 48 machine on the entry of 1. Trying to hold position right there on the inside. They're going to come off of 1 and 2 right now. He's in that Clemson Tiger truck. I'm sure he's loving the weekend they had, smashing the Miami Hurricanes by 30, limiting them to only 100 yards on offense. As that 48 truck is going to use a little bit of that Tiger energy to force the 22 up and overtake for that position as we head down to 1.
So look further back in the pack. Brandon Bullock, Brian Chu, and Jason Morales are battling hard. But we have a battle up here between Justin White and it looks like Tyler Thurman in that 1 machine. These drivers are not really giving an inch because you have to use the tire while you have it. You can't really make these same passes long in the run as Brady LaBeouf looks to the outside of Nathan Mallard here in 3.
Yeah, here comes Brady LaBeouf again using his own Tiger energy there in that LSU Tiger color scheme here tonight. Of course, last week's winners trying to make it go back-to-back here tonight in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, and boy, it looks like he has the speed to do it here. We talked to him before this race started. He seemed a little confident. He seemed like he knew his strategy. He seemed like he knew what he had to do to put that 9 truck back in victory lane as he overtakes for position, and we have some battles ensuing here on the apex of 3 and 4.
Yeah, Michael McKinnon looked to the inside of Robbie Richards on the backstretch. Richards shut the door, made the passing carriage view himself going through the front stretch. Michael McKinnon looking to follow him through. He's going to look to the inside of Robbie Richards in 1 and 2. Michael is not going to be happy with the way Richards has raced so far, putting everyone 3 wide on the backstretch. A move that worked great for Richards, but then cutting the nose off McKinnon on the backstretch as he went underneath the tribute. So we have a battle now between Justin White and Raul Meza on the outside here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks like Justin White, though, is starting to lose that truck just a little bit there in that 28 machine. We saw him up there on the top of the grid battling for the podium finish up there, or podium spot. And now, right now, he's just trying to maintain here on the racetrack. This is a battle, I would say, for about the 6th, 7th position right now. You see White still trying to hold on that 28 truck, but Raul Meza is going to easily clear him coming off a 2 down the backstretch.
Meza's truck has come alive a little bit later in this stage, as we have seen Brady LaBeouf, though, truck has really come alive as he's closed the door, and Adam Newberg, he's knocking, he's looking for second.
Yeah, there goes Brady LaBeouf right there, trying to get around Newbert. He's got that nose right on the back end of that truck here on the apex of 1 and 2. He's going to go high side, see if we can ride that momentum on the exit of 2. Not going to have enough, though, as he's going to follow right behind Newbert there in that 4 truck, heading down into the entry of 3.
Looked like Brady didn't know where Newbert was going to go in 1 and 2 and adjusted his line mid-entry. Kind of goes run down the backstretch, able to get to where he wants to be here in 3 and 4. He's to the outside of Newbert, looking to hopefully complete the pass into 1 and 2. He needs to make sure he's still side by side with Newbert so he can get that exit he wants on 2.
Yeah, as they come off of 2 right now down that backstretch, they are side by side for the 2nd position here in this race tonight. As you see Brady LaBeouf in that 9 truck to the outside, trying to hold off Adam Newbert to the inside in that 4. Coming around 3 and 4 right now to the apex of 3 and 4. It looks like Newbert's going to inch out just a little bit. He's going to hold that position coming down the front stretch.
Both of them ran faster laps than Lumpkin that time by about a 1/10 of a second. They're both closing the gap while racing each other towards that leader. So we look throughout the field. Not much battles happening else inside the top 10 for now. The next closest battle is Robbie Richards and Mike McKinnon sitting there battling for 8th and 9th. But that battle for 2nd is the one battle we'll focus on. And we're going to switch over to Mike McKinnon, who looks to the outside of Richards, trying to finally make his caution is out.
And the caution flag flies here at Texas as it looks like
big pile up.
Huge pile up down the backstretch right on the entry of 3. A lot of trucks involved in this. Probably your favorite driver looks to be tagged up in this here as well, folks at home. We're going to get down that list of trucks that were involved, but it looked like it was at least 4 or 5 trucks right there on the backstretch.
Jason Morales has a blown edge at his knees over. We're going to look at the on the pole instant replay. I saw Adam Cantwell's HD Motorsports machine upside down at one point as well. Looked like Michael Allen in the 60 truck is involved. We're going to get a better view here coming down the back straightaway.
We're going to watch this replay here to see exactly what ensued here to bring out only our 3rd caution of the night here. And right now we're going to watch him head down the backstretch and see, Tyler, Why so many trucks got tangled up here?
Looks like Sean Hamilton came down on Jason Morales and collected, I want to say, is that Brandon Bullock's machine. And Morales hits that inside wall so hard he comes back up, collects Jonathan Wiley, Michael Allen. Tim Hammond get through here okay. Donnie Lyons tries to avoid it, spins out on his own accord. Michael Allen gets stuck on that wall. Lyons hits the wall. He's going to come back up across the racing surface. Cantwell and the 99 of Charles Keller just wrecking on their own before they even got there. Cody Nutt's going to get a little bit. Zach Hartwick just piles into Donnie Lyons. I'm not sure who that other truck is down there on the bottom, that 24 machine. But chaos ensued as you'll see Cantwell and Hartwick go for one wild ride.
And a huge, looked like one of the trucks used the other one as a half pipe there, just went out straight up in the air, used that truck bed as just a launching pad to launch their truck up into the air. With our third caution of the night here, Tyler, I was just about to mention, though, we were starting to creep up to that fuel window there in that run with about 25 laps to go there here in stage number 2. You almost want to think you're under caution. Do you think we're going to see any of these trucks head down pit road?
Well, pit cycles have already happened. I can tell you Brady LaBeouf pit, as did a couple of others. We have, it looks like, a new leader out front, and his name is Christopher Blanchard.
See right now when we get back to the action here on the track. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back live here on your screen. We're taking a look at our race leader there. Our former race leader of Lumpkin there in that 18 machine. You see White right there in that 28. As you mentioned, we have a new race leader on the track currently here as we're under caution here once again. It hasn't been a caution-filled race as what we saw at Pocono last week, Tyler. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the drivers here tonight are kind of keeping their cool?
I think it's the fact that this track is a little bit easier to handle than a Pocono. We talked last week extensively about how Pocono kind of races like a road course. The 3 different corners pose your own unique challenges. You can't run the same line at all in any of those corners. It's a different line, a different approach. More off-throttle time, I would say, at a Pocono. A little bit more on-throttle time here at Texas. You're a little bit more in control, especially with these trucks. You're not going to fight a loose condition. You're going to fight a tight condition, which means you just have to lift more versus trying to manhandle the wheel. As we're cycling through, our new race leader is going to be Tyler Thurman. Nathan Maurer is going to cycle to 2nd. Adam Newbert 3rd. Justin Lumpkin 4th. Justin White 5th. Raul Meza 6th. Robbie Richards 7th. Brandon Bullock 8th. Travis Burtzer 9th. And Brady LaBeouf drops back to 10th under the pit stops here.
Yeah, going to drop down to 10th, though. But as we've seen the speed out of that 9 truck here tonight, my hopes are still with him there. He's going to climb through the grid. He's going to have a good shot of going back-to-back here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And, watching these drivers here so far in this race, Tyler, it looks like some of them are trying to find people to work with and just sort of find their lines. We saw it early on in this race. We had the 3 top drivers there check out. They gap from the 4th place position. So watch out for this now as the drivers are getting comfortable in these trucks, knowing their windows, knowing their strategies of now finding people to link up with and just checking out from the rest of the field.
Yeah, we're going to quickly chat with Jason Morales. Jason, you were involved in that big pile-up a couple laps ago. It looked like you had lost your engine for the race. What exactly happened there? Anything you could have done differently, or was that just someone coming down and not clearing themselves properly? Jason Morales, Tyler Dittmer in the NASCAR 360 Racing booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, what did you see there on that incident? It looks like maybe Hamilton came down on you and you had Bill of Hells, it looks like, to your inside. Is there anything you could have done differently there, or are you just kind of a victim of circumstance?
Yeah, I had the run coming on 89. I was looking there, didn't see him in my mirror, and as I went low, right as the moment I got low, then I heard spotters say there was someone there. Just no time to react to it.
Yeah, frustrating end to your night. Yeah, has the racing been what you expected tonight with these longer green flag runs, or are you kind of expecting a more caution-filled race?
I was expecting a little bit more caution. After stage 1, I kind of felt how I needed to run the long stage, so I fell all the way back to 17th or 18th, and started feeling pretty good. But blew it there.
Well, we thank you for talking with us, Jason. Hopefully next week goes better for you. as we get back to Green Flag Racing again. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Green flag,
Yes,
green
sir.
flag.
As we are back green underway, Tyler Thurman taking the field of green. I mean, you could just tell there, well, a very dejected Jason Williams.
Yeah, when he raced as many laps as he did here tonight, he was starting to get the groove. He was starting to find those strategies, as I just mentioned about a lot of those drivers here tonight. Just have your night snatched away from you like that. That is very, very unfortunate. But now we have quite the battle on the entry of 3, on the apex of 3 and 4 right now. These top 3 drivers want to take the lead away, as right now we have about a 3-truck battle for the lead. We have Adam Newbert there in that 4 truck. We have Nathan Maurer right there as well. They're trying to overtake from that 1 truck at the top of the grid as we come off of corner number 2 down the backstretch.
Hard Luck Award winner last week to leader of the race this week, although it looks like he may not be a leader for much longer. Adam Newbert's going to dive to the bottom of Tyler Thurman here, 3 and 4. Looks like Thurman might just have to get the position, because Newbert should clear him off the 4. Interesting note, though, Justin Lumpkin is back in the pack. He's sitting, it looks like, 6th right now. Doesn't have clean air. He seems to be struggling. He does not have the same speed he had when he was up front.
No, now that he has traffic in front of him, he has to find that speed. Once again, he has to put a little bit more moves on the rest of the field to hold his position, as now we come down the backstretch right now. And one of the comments that Thurman made to us when we interviewed him about that Hard Luck Award winner award that he was awarded for that performance at Pocono, he said that he had a fast truck at Pocono. He had the speed, he had the confidence there. Just to have his night end like that was very discouraging for him. But with that, though, Tyler, could you think that Thurman now feels the same way about this 1 truck here at Texas? He feels like he has a truck to win, and he is sure racing like it here tonight.
Yeah, but his internet just blinked out for a quick second. He's back, though, on track, but another concern for him is he doesn't want to have the same thing happen twice in a row. Brady LaBeouf's going to make it 3 wide to the bottom of 3 and 4 back there. It looks like as a bee's nest of drivers is trying to get up front. Justin Lumpkin, though, has stalled out back in the pack as Raul Meza is going to get around him on the outside. As Bill Hales is in the wall as the leaders come up on him.
Yeah, right there, see if the caution flag flies. Doesn't look so right now. We're going to stay green coming off of corner number 2. Heading down the backstretch right now is Brady LaBeouf. Now says Lumpkin, please move out of my way. I have a very fast truck here in this 9 machine. And with that bump, though, it kills the momentum of that 9, pushes Lumpkin just a little bit further down that corner. Now Brady has to find that draft once again and try to put another move on Lumpkin, who you mentioned, though, Tyler, is now losing positions as we head down to corner number 1.
Tyler Thurman has come down pit road. It seems he may have received a black flag for a restart violation. You're unsure as to what happened there. We have quite a battle back there throughout the rest of the field. Although as Adam Newbert has a mirror full of Nathan Maurer, but we are 2 and 3 wide throughout the field behind him.
Ooh, as it's tight right there in the apex of 3 and 4. Right now coming down the front stretch right now. As Tyler, you mentioned, it's a beehive of drivers back here in this pack. You see Raul Meza mixed up there in that 37 machine. Now it looks like, though, Nathan Maurer coming off with 2. He's trying to make a move on Newbert there in that 4 truck as we enter into corner number 3.
He just hasn't had the run yet to get to the inside. Entering a corner, he's going to go behind Newbert again. Brady LaBeouf was able to get through that mess of drivers back there, but Justin Lumpkin has lost another spot as Raul Meza gets a little bit sideways. We're going to be almost 3 wide off of 4.
Yeah, 4 wide for just a split second there. You know, Lumpkin's just trying to drive the wheels off of this truck at this point in this race, Tyler. He knows that his speed is slipping. He doesn't have the truck like he had to start this race here. So he's trying everything he can to try to hold on to that position. But a little 2-for-1 action right there as the 22 and the 37 is going to overtake Lumpkin there on the top side.
Yeah, Trantham looked to the inside of Lumpkin. He'll take that spot away. Lumpkin's going to fall back even further. He may fall back another spot if Travis Burtzer has anything to say about it. But Brady LaBeouf, on the other hand, has moved to 3rd and has caught your lead, too. He's looking to the outside of Maurer here for 2nd. He's going to get it.
Yeah, they're about to go 3 wide down the backstretch right there. Looks like Brady LaBeouf is trying to use that draft coming up quick. And that LSU Tiger paint scheme right there. Last week's winner at the Tricky Triangle at Pocono. Trying to make it go back-to-back here at Texas. He'll put a little Louisiana flair on that barbecue if he wins here tonight as we enter down to corner number 1.
He takes the lead. I think he may have gotten tires on that last stop. That's why he was so far back in the pack. He looks like a rocket ship. These drivers he's around right now. Brady LaBeouf, fresh tires, takes the lead here late in stage 2 with about 13 to go. Important to note, Brady won stage 2 last week as well before taking the checkered flag at Pocono. So, can he repeat his performance again tonight? He may have pulled off the right strategy so far.
Yeah, heading down the front stretch right now. We're going to have about 11 laps to go here in stage number 2, and that's what Brady wants to do here tonight, Tyler. He wants to win last week's race at Pocono, get some bonus points here tonight. Even if he doesn't win the race, at least he stacked up some awesome points here the last couple weeks, and that's going to be extremely beneficial as this season ticks down. But we have a battle ensuing right now as the 89 truck of Hamilton is going to overtake Nathan Maurer there for the 3rd position.
I think Hamilton may have gotten tires as well on that last stop, as well as Michael McKinnon as he's starting to carve his way up through the field. But stage 2 has gone from bad to worse for Justin Lincoln. He is now outside your top 10, not in a stage point paying position. He is currently sitting 11th, and he is not gaining on the drivers in front of him.
And there goes Hamilton to the inside of Newbert there on the entry of 3. Looks like the 89 truck, the HD Motorsports truck, a driver that has been inside the top 5, top 3 for a large portion of tonight's race. That is now inside the top 2, has his eyes set on Brady LaBeouf there in the 9 as we come down into 1 and 2.
Yeah, 10 laps to go in the stage. Hamilton, I don't think he has enough speed to catch Brady with that gap currently the way it is. But if he gets Mike McKinnon by Adam Newbert here and those two can work together, Brady LaBeouf may have some company at the end of stage 2 here. But as the way things sit right now, Brady LaBeouf first. Second would be Sean Hamilton. Third will be Mike McKinnon as they come off of 4 here with 9 to go in the stage.
Yeah, 9 to go right now. Things are just starting to get hot and heavy here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Seen a lot more drivers get a little bit more aggressive. They're overtaking now. They're going inside, outside. We're seeing 3 wide battles. But right now, it's a single file line down the backstretch, down into corner number 3 as Nathan Maurer, our race leader, is now starting to see some trucks appear in his rear view as we're counting down the laps here in stage number 2.
You know, Will, we talked about it before the broadcast. You asked me what I thought was going to be a big deal for tonight's race, and even during the pre-stage of the race, it's a big deal. I thought deferring tire strategy with only 4 sets for the race would matter. And right now, we're seeing it matter. Adam Newbert has dropped to 5th now on the stage. His teammate Justin Lumpkin's not even in the top 10 for the stage. And you're seeing these deferring tire strategies wreak some havoc here in stage number 2.
Now, my question to you, Tyler, going off of what you just said, could it be like when you're, now obviously we're not in Vegas here tonight, but it could be like when you're at the casino, you play until you have that last $20 in your pocket, and then you said, okay, this is a great bet to go ahead and put that $20 on that horse. That horse wins the race, and it pays off for you. Could it be that some of these drivers here tonight are sitting on that last $20, that last set of tires here for that last run of the race, knowing that if they can get those freshies on, they're going to have that speed at the end?
It's quite possible as we're looking Justin Lumpkin trying to get back inside the top 10, looking to the inside of Travis Burtzer for 10th currently. Looks like he may get back into a points paying position here through 1 and 2. These drivers are going to try deferring strategies to get to the front because it is so hard to pass. There's Lumpkin and Burtzer are really tight there off of 2.
Yeah, Lumpkin's just trying to hold on. As we mentioned there just a few laps ago, he was trying to use everything, side draft, back draft, trying to get up close to these drivers as they're going by him. Nothing seeming to work for this 18 right now as he is slowly but surely going to lose another position. Right now on going down into corner number 1. We have about 4 laps to go here in stage number 2. No change there at the top of the grid so far right now. It's still, as we're looking at, we're going to filter through the drivers. Brady LaBeouf there at the top of the grid, heading down to 3, and Hamilton in the HD Motorsports truck is right there in the 89. Also, this blacked out truck of the 13 and the 22 are going to be our top 4 here on the track. We're going to have just about 3 laps to go here in stage number 2 as we head down to corner number 1.
Yeah, 13 of Michael McKinnon and the 22 of Cody Trantham, followed by Adam Newbert sitting 5th, and it looks like the tires have equaled out for Newbert as we have a really nice battle here from 6th through, it looks like 9th, between Robbie Richards, Justin White, and Nathan Maurer. Sorry, Tyler Thurman's a lap down. He's on fresh tires. He's trying to get through and be the first truck 1 lap down, so he's hoping Brady LaBeouf doesn't catch any more lap trucks before the end of this stage, as we're going to have 3 to go in the stage this time by. Brady LaBeouf still a comfortable lead over Hamilton. Right now, that lead is about 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, and I love what Thurman did in that one truck, too. He saw those guys going 3 wide. He said, excuse me, guys, I'm just going to sneak to the inside. I want to get my lap back. Y'all can keep battling it out here for position. He just snuck by those 3 drivers that were 3 wide battling, as it looks like we have right there. Robbie Richards going to make a move on Nathan Mallard to overtake, and he does just that on the apex of 3 and 4. Boy, was that a clean move to swing that back bumper right in the front of Nathan Mallard as we head across the line here with 1 lap to go here at stage number 2.
Yeah, as we're looking here towards the end of stage number 2, Lumpkin still sitting outside that top 10. He could not complete the pass on Burtzer. But Adam Newbert got a massive run on Trantham here, but Tyler Thurman's going to box him in for that 4th spot. Newbert's going to have to lift. Coming around, they should get 1 to go in the stage. This time at the end of lap 85 will be the end of the stage. Cody Knott's about to go, I think, a 2nd lap down, so that will not hurt Tyler Thurman. Brady LaBeouf has clean sailing. He needs to just go 1 more lap around Texas Motor Speedway to win stage number 2.
Yeah, and boy, as we saw the speed come out of that 9 truck, as we come off of corner number 2 down this backstretch here, you called it, Tyler. He was a rocket here in stage number 2, and he's going to rocket his way around 3 and 4 right now. He's going to rack up some bonus points here. Our winner last week at the Tricky Triangle is going to win stage number 2 here at Texas.
Yeah, and we talked about last week. Won stage number 2 last week, win stage number 2 again this week. And it looks like we'll end the stage right there. Travis Burtzer will be your 10th place truck, meaning Justin Lumpkin, who has dominated a lot of this race tonight, will not collect a single stage point here in stage 2.
Ooh. You know, we'll have to see how that affects his mindset here as this race ticks down. Some of these drivers, you know, just really have the speed, they have the momentum here. They just can't seem to get their trucks at the top of the grid. But one driver that did, though, is that 9 truck of Brady LaBeouf. He's going to win this stage here tonight, and he's going to go off of what he did last week at the Tricky Triangle. But we want to shout out Millie's Restaurant and Catering for being our title sponsor here in tonight's race. The Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here at the Texas Motor Speedway. We're happy and lucky to have them on board here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And Tyler, as the stage 2 comes to an end there, we saw the intensity sort of build up just a little bit there at the end of that stage.
Yeah, we saw that intensity get built up because we had those deferring strategies due to that mid-stage caution. A big wreck that took out a lot of really good, fast trucks. You're going to see how things are going to play out here as Brady LaBeouf's going to lead the field down pit road. We'll be back with you on the other side of these pit stops here, and we'll talk with Brady LaBeouf after these quick few stops and a quick break. And now that we're back here looking at our lucky dog recipient, Brandon Broadfoot. So he'll get back on the lead lap. That'll make 21 trucks on the lead lap when we go flag racing again. Cody Sanderson will be your first driver, multiple laps down. He is 2 laps down. Tyler Thurman also 2 laps down. Those 2 drivers are the only 2 drivers less than 10 laps down at the current point being. So they'll need about 2 cautions in order for one of them to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out here right now, but I believe that you're going to be catching up with our stage number 2 winner, Brady LaBeouf. I called it there in our pre-race interview. I said we might talk to you here during this race, or maybe in victory lane. But Tyler, I believe you were catching up with the boss man himself, Brady LaBeouf, there on the radio, the winner of stage number 2.
Yeah, Brady, you are a stage 2 winner, winning back-to-back stage 2s. Won stage 2 last week at Pocono. Can you do what you did last week at the Tricky Triangle and win again here tonight?
I'm not sure, Tyler. I kind of got all sequenced with the other guys just to kind of change it up a little bit. I know I'm going to have about 20 lap older tires than those guys, so we're going to see how it goes. As long as I can kind of maintain top 5 before pit stops, I feel good about it.
It looks like Sean Hamilton and Mike McKinnon took a similar strategy as you, taking tires during that caution with about 20 to go in the stage. How do you balance taking that set of tires, realizing that you probably only have 1 or 2 sets left in the pocket for this 55-lap run to the finish, or 50-lap run to the finish?
Yeah, it's always a gamble trying to figure all this pit strategy out, but it's kind of fun how we do them. So I'm just going to try to run and hope whenever I do make a green flag pit stop, if I do, that the caution doesn't come out and trap me a lap down. So that's all I'm hoping for right now.
Does having that win in your back pocket allow you to make that tire strategy call and go out here and try to win this second stage, collect another playoff point towards the playoffs in a couple months' time? Is that what that win at Pocono does for you?
Oh, absolutely, hands down. And that played a role in what I did during that stage right there.
Well, Brady, we'll get you back to your team and discuss how this final stage will play out for you. Been a very entertaining race so far. Not a ton of cautions, kind of intermixed sporadically. A lot of great green flag racing. Maybe we'll be talking to you at the end.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you, sir. As that was our stage 2 winner, Brady LaBeouf. And Will, he kind of saw or heard in his interview that win last week at Pocono opened up these different strategy calls for him.
Yeah, it really did, and I think it opened up a whole new mindset for Brady LaBeouf there in that 9. Didn't have the best of speed weeks at Daytona. Kind of got a little discouraged there heading into Pocono there. But then winning at Pocono, Tyler, as you mentioned, just opened up a lot of doors, opened up those windows for strategy, opened up a different mindset, a different confidence now we're seeing out of this 9 truck. And now this 9 truck, you've seen it here race through the grid, race to the top of this grid. When he did, though, Tyler, he checked out. He was a rocket at the top of the grid. So now let's see him here in the end stage here. He's going to race it down to lap 185, let's see, around 135 around that range. So let's see if Brady can hold this position at the top of the grid. But that was a spot-on comment there, Tyler. This opened up a whole new world for Brady LaBeouf.
And that's another bonus point he can take into the playoffs for winning that stage. And it gets him closer towards that year-long points time, which also puts him in the playoffs. Brady LaBeouf will lead the field to green, or Sean Hamilton to his outside. Adam Newberg, who should be on fresh tires, will be on the inside of row number 2 with Justin White to his outside, as they'll take him to the Geico restart zone. Brady LaBeouf waiting to get to that zone. He's going to hit the gas. They're going to go green flag racing again here. Stage 3, 45 laps to go.
A huge restart from Brady LaBeouf there in that 9. It's going to take us down into corner number 1 all by himself. Adam Newbert there in that 4 truck is going to try to follow, so is Hamilton in that 89. But he is gapping now on the entry, or the exit of 2 down the backstretch.
Big moment for all the Missos. We have a big pile up. Justin Lumpkin involved and others. Brian Shue and more drivers pile in. It looked like they just all decided to drive off a cliff.
We have a driver that's actually in the infield grass that jumped the wall there on the backstretch. A lot of trucks involved in this calamity there, and that, from what I can look like, that might be Bullock there with those green rims. He has a lot of damage there. It's hard to see his number there on the side of that truck.
Yeah, it is Brandon Bullock from Macon. That's going to be off into his night here for that 17 machine. His engine has expired. That was a wild wreck, and it seemed like drivers just kept piling into it.
Yeah, and as Brandon's going to drive it through the infield there, try to find the garage, he has to drive through the campers here at Texas Motor Speedway. Looks like we're going to ride on board with Brandon Bullock, and you already see right there in front of him, he has Tim Hammond, that 69. He makes hard contact there to the right back fender of that truck. And right there, you already see everybody stacking up there on the backstretch, and just leaves Brandon in such a compromised position. You see him spinning, he's going to get hit a couple times, and all of a sudden, he's just going to get a first-class ticket to take flight here as we're going to ride on board with this 17 truck as he's going to jump that wall, and man, does he go for a ride.
Yeah, that gyroscope cam kind of keeping us somewhat oriented as the truck just rolls around it as he ends up in the infield. That's a crazy wreck. I want to see if we can get a wide view of the wreck. It looked like it started in front of him. It looked like Lumpkin was already going around, as well as Brian Shue. A couple of drivers that looked like in the wall. So we're going to get a good view here. It looks like Lumpkin loose off the corner. Shue hits the wall, comes back down, collects Robbie Richards, Not sure the other driver is there. That might be Kerry Tribune. Uncertain at this time. Hammond involved, like you said. Bullock involved. More drivers involved. Yeah, that is Kerry Tribune. That's 7 machine. A bunch more. Blanchard involved. Just a parking lot here in the backstretch.
We need that long list like NASCAR does on the screen of all the drivers involved, because we have lost count here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We're counting on our screen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 to 10 drivers that were involved in that suffered some sort of damage from this pile up here on the backstretch.
Yeah, Cody Sanderson, that 88. It looks like the 65 of Curtis Rogers also involved. Just a massive pile. It looks like someone else is spinning additionally part of this wreck and then piled in afterwards. This is a very confusing incident, folks, on the backstretch, and this one may be under review for a while, at least long after this race ends tonight.
Yeah, what a unfortunate end to a lot of drivers' nights here. As we see on the tail end of this wreck, looks like the 85 machine right there is just going to get a little hesitant of what's going on in front of him. He's going to hit the brakes way before all the chaos, and he knows driving into this right there, he has to stay to the inside, try to go as slow as possible to avoid any damage. We're going to watch what happens here, this 85 truck, to see if he avoids any sort of damages. Is Curtis Rogers, does he find a hole in all of this right here? And no, he's going to take some hard damage.
He just gets hammered from behind by, it looks like, Cody Sanderson in the 88. I'm not sure if the drivers realized the brake pedal option or what here for this incident, but that was a frustrating incident to watch.
That was very frustrating indeed there, Tyler. Maybe we can catch up with one of the drivers that were involved in that wreck, because, boy, that was so many drivers in that. We'll have to see who actually didn't suffer damage from that wreck here, as our leader Brady LaBeouf still leading the way there in that 9 truck. So he's got Adam Newbert there right behind him. Robbie Richards right there in that 48. As you see, Tyler Thurman right there. I'm not sure if he was one of the drivers involved in that or not there.
He's getting a lap back, I believe, so he'll be only 1 lap down. But we're going to talk to Brandon Bullock, who took flight into the infield. Brandon, what did you see there on that incident?
I seen everybody was checking up. I tried to get checked up, but obviously not everybody else behind me got checked up, so then it was a wild ride.
Yeah, I hopefully you're not using VR, because I know if I'm sick from a couple of days after an incident like that, but we had an amazing onboard shot from the gyroscope cam in the cockpit. Definitely one you may want to go and take a look at after this race is over tonight. Unfortunate early on your night, but was this just drivers pushing hard on a restart because of how hard it is to pass here in Texas?
I don't know. I really didn't see what happened up there. I seen that they were checking up and tried to get checked up, and it just didn't help me.
Well, a frustrating end to your night, Brandon, but thank you for giving the time to talk to us, and hopefully next week things will look better for you, and we can talk to you not after one of these incidents, but maybe after a stage winner in victory lane.
That would be good. I think we were moving in the right direction today, but it all happens for a reason, right?
Yeah, it definitely does indeed. Well, again, thanks for spending some time with us, and we'll get you back to your team to hopefully see one of your teammates maybe pull home the victory here tonight.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. And you could just hear a very disappointed Brandon Bullock here as we are about to go green flag racing again. Brady LaBeouf leads Adam Newbert, Justin White, Sean Hamilton, Nathan Maurer, and Cody Trantham here to the green flag.
Yes, this green flag is going to wave once again in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. And Barney, the flag man, is waving that thing furious and in a hurry as Brady LaBeouf is going to take us down to corner number 1 as the race leader. But it looks like Hamilton's going to push Newbert on the inside right there. Going to try to make it a run as we come to the apex of 1 and 2.
Yeah, important to note that wreck has really thinned the field out. We started with a large field of 40 trucks, and here we're down to only 11 trucks on the lead lap. Less than 20 actually running on track currently. As Adam Newbert looks to the inside of Brady LaBeouf, almost contact. Newbert checks up to not get into Brady. That was a scary moment there for the lead.
Yeah, as Adam Newbert, though, has that run to the inside as we enter corner number 1. He's going to ride that momentum to the apex of 1 and 2. He's going to overtake Brady as we come on the exit of 2. He looks like he's going to check out from Brady and Hamilton. He said, y'all can fight it out. I'm just going to take this clean air and zoom around Texas Motor Speedway as we come to the apex of 3 and 4.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf. It looks like Cody Trantham's around the back. Travis Burtzer involved. Oh, that was not as bad as it could have been, but caution here is Texas. A scary, scary incident for many drivers.
And he went for a roller coaster ride there in that 22 machine. We saw him completely sideways down the apex of 3 and 4. We were just waiting to see if anybody was going to make contact with him there, Tyler. And unfortunately, he did entangle some drivers into this. But we watch it right here. He is completely sideways. He is hitting the E-brake in that machine. He is listening to some Japanese anime music. He is Tokyo drifting around corners number 3 and 4 right there. And unfortunately, as he was trying to maintain that thing, get it back to the low side of the track to get it straight, he unfortunately gets tangled up with just a few drivers there. It looks like maybe just one driver makes contact with him there, Tyler. It brought out the caution.
Yeah, it looks like Travis Burtzer got into his rear and finished the spin off for Cody Trantham, but it looks like Michael McKinnon got involved to maybe hit Burtzer on the exit of 4, so it looks like only 3 drivers involved in this incident. But you see on board, it looks like with Raul Meza maybe, or maybe this is Raul Meza's onboard camera. Burtzer hits him in the rear, fully sends him around. Close moment. Raul Meza's gonna go high, and look at that avoidance there by Raul Meza. Just an amazing move, and it looks like he'll keep it off the wall, keep her straight, keep her clean.
It's like that ultra focus. We were playing video games back in the day that you could hit that button where your character would have ultra focus. You could make moves in slow motion. Looks like Raul hit that button inside that 37 cockpit, and he made that matrix move to get around that 22 machine that was spinning out. But now the cautions are starting to rain down here at Texas. Texas is a state that's not known for the rain. Maybe some tornadoes here in this state, but not caution flags. It wasn't like this to start out this race. It looks like things are getting a little bit more heated as we're coming to the conclusion of this race here tonight.
Yeah, I would say it's been a tale of 2 halves tonight. Stage 1, green flag throughout until a little bit late. We had a little bit of a sprint to the end. And since then, it seems like we've just had more and more chaos here tonight. Maybe drivers getting more impatient. Drivers, are just losing their cool, maybe losing focus. It's a long race here at Texas, but interesting to know how much this has kind of changed throughout after what looked like to be a promising long race for a lot of drivers. Currently, we have 12 drivers on the lead lap now. As Tyler Thurman, penalized earlier, black flag, fast truck, back on the lead lap. So we'll have to keep an eye out for him, see if he can make his way through the smaller field, which may be to his advantage.
Indeed, see if he can keep that momentum that he has built up now after a little bit of a rough start to start tonight's race. We'll see if he can carry that through right there. There is that one machine of Thurman down pit road here. As we're watching some drivers head down pit road here, Tyler, when do you think we'll start to see some more pit stops take place? Do you think as this race starts to tick down, we're going to start to see more drivers head down, or you're already through the pit stops?
I think we're going to see if drivers have a set of tires left, once they're comfortably inside a fuel window and they think that they won't have a significant amount of fall off on these tires, they're going to come down and get those tires. Ray LaBeouf still, I think, has a set in his back pocket. He is not pitting, but we're going to see Michael McKinnon here pit. He has a little bit of front-end damage from that incident there, so he's going to have to make a quick pit stop here to at least get some repairs done. But I think if we get another caution, you'll see Brady LaBeouf and some of these leaders pit. But for right now, they can kind of stay out and run the race.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what drivers are sitting on that extra $20, as I mentioned just a short while ago, that extra set of tires that maybe they haven't used yet. Maybe they've sacrificed a little bit of speed here throughout the middle stages of this race, knowing that they have an extra set of tires inside the garage. So when the rest of these drivers are starting to lose speed, starting to lose a little bit of traction there, then one of these drivers in the field, we don't know which one yet, maybe there's a few of them, can snatch that last set of tires and almost put boosters on these trucks, because we've seen what new tires do to the speed of these trucks here at Texas.
Yeah, it's important to know we do have that 20x DQ limit here tonight. Obviously, at most intermediates, if you get a 4 or an 8x, your truck is going to be significantly slower, but something maybe keep an eye on throughout the rest of this race. any drivers need to get DQ'd for hitting that incident limit with all these cautions we're having. Right now, though, 12 drivers on the lead lap. Furthest one back is Michael McKinnon at the point being. You have 2 drivers 1 lap down, though, Brian Chu and Robbie Richards. So 2 drivers who could, in theory, get back on the lead lap and help compete for this win. So it looks like we'll have about 14 trucks still left in it tonight, but there are 3 that are extremely dominant right now, and I would say that's Nathan Maurer, Brady LaBeouf, and Adam.
Yeah, that's spot on. Those 3 drivers have basically been inside the top 5 for the majority of the race. We've seen Brady LaBeouf had to work his way up the grid to get up there with those other drivers. Adam Newbert, though, in that 4 has just shown tremendous speed here tonight. Look at also Justin White there in that 28 that had an excellent run here as well. Nathan Maurer has come on very, very strong here as well. Now, it's funny to mention, though, Tyler, a lot of these drivers had great runs at Pocono last week as well. They just unfortunately got tagged up there at the end, which opened the door for Brady LaBeouf and that 9 truck to get that race victory. But it looks like Brady says that wasn't a fluke win. That was a real win. I'm a real driver here, just like Pinocchio's a real boy. And just like the green flag is out once again here in Texas.
Newbert gets a great job on those fresh set of tires compared to Brady LaBeouf's tires, which are about 20 laps older than most of these drivers up front. So Brady's kind of just holding on until he gets to a comfortable point where he can pit and get that extra set of tires on that truck and get ready to go. We are just on the edge of that fuel window, or middle of the fuel window now, about 34 to go. It should be important to know if we see any more cautions, I think from here on out, you're going to see drivers come in and take 4 sets of tires if they still have.
As it's getting dicey behind Brady LaBeouf. As we come across that start-finish line down at the corner, number 1, it looks like it was about to go 3 wide for his position there. Looks like these 2 trucks want to split him here on this backstretch. Will they make that move? No, they will not. They will settle right behind Brady LaBeouf there in that 9. Brady LaBeouf has to know there's a lot of speed behind him. They want that position just as bad as Brady does. As we come to the apex of 3 and 4, looks like Brady's going to get a little loose and lose that position on the front stretch.
He clips the apron. Jonathan Wiley looking to capitalize on that 0 machine. Sean Hamilton, the 89 HD Motorsports machine, also trying to capitalize. Brady's old tires are not helping him, but Wiley's going to hit the apron but have enough speed to carry forward and move up into that 3rd position. I believe Hamilton's looking to get by Brady LaBeouf as well as Raul Meza, making a great wreck of wins during that last caution, now looking to get by Brady LaBeouf as well.
Yeah, Raul Meza is just slowly creeping through the grid here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for that 37 truck. That might be one of those trucks that are sitting on that last set of tires here in these late stages of this race here tonight in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. As now Raul Meza is going to get a great position coming off of corner number 2. He's going to try to catch some draft coming off these guys in front of him, including Wiley up there and Hamilton. See if he can't move this 37 into contention.
Yeah, Raul Meza is looking to go forwards throughout the field. Brady LaBeouf's just trying to hold on and not fall backwards anymore. Cody Trantham, who we saw go for a wild ride last caution, is now trying to latch onto the back of Brady LaBeouf. And behind them, Tyler Thurman had to start EOL for this last restart. He's looking to make his way back through the field now that he's back on the lead lap.
And there goes Trantham there to the inside of Brady LaBeouf. There must be something wrong with that 9 truck because he has slipped. Now all the way down, he's only got about 1 position left to be inside the top 10. Brady LaBeouf started inside the top row to start off this race here when we went back under green. There's got to be something wrong with that 9. We're not used to seeing that 9 drop back as far as he is right now. But one driver that has not lost pace, that is Adam Newbert there in that 4 machine. So a race leader here down the backstretch.
I think we're seeing that tire difference really come into effect. Brady LaBeouf, I believe, is on older tires than everyone else in the top 10. Meanwhile, Adam Newbert is on a rocket ship. He's about to lap Brian Chu. Again, Brian Chu well off the pace. A couple other drivers well off the pace as well that Adam Newbert's about to lap. Michael McKinnon being another one of those. So Brian Chu, Michael McKinnon, both well off the pace. Not going to be a factor in this race throughout the remainder of the night. Looks like Justin White leading Nathan Maurer here for second.
Yeah, and this is quite a battle that we have for second position right now as we enter corner number 3. White in that 28 truck. Nathan Maurer right there as well wants to overtake. Now these two drivers have to know that they can battle out as much as they like, and Hamilton knows that as well. He's going to slowly creep into the picture into this battle as well. But they have to know that they don't link up and stay single file right there. Adam Newbert's just going to love life there at the top of this grid. He's going to check away. He's going to check his rear view for just a second, Tyler. See these guys battling out and be like, all right, I'm good here at the top. I'm just going to keep hitting my lines, let them keep battling out for the first runner-up.
Brady LaBeouf may have just said that he is pitting this time. I'm interested to see if that's going to be the case. Nope, he's going to stay out another lap. Right now, though, Adam Newbert with a commanding 1.4 second lead over Justin White. Another 0.2 back to Nathan Maurer, but Maurer just loses the position of Hamilton there, as we see. So Adam Newbert pulling away here in the late stages as we are down to 26 laps to go.
And this is the late stages of this race here tonight, Tyler. 26 laps to go here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. It has been a battle here tonight at the Texas Motor Speedway. We've seen everything. We've seen big car pileups, little car pileups. We've seen great green flag runs. We've seen leaders check out. But now here, as the leader is going to take us off corner number 2, this is the largest lead of the race so far, as Adam Newbert is going to take us down to corner number 3.
Yeah, that lead is 1.6 seconds and growing. But Sean Hamilton, if he gets clear of Justin White here, he may have something to say about that lead. Looks like he may be the only car who has enough speed to catch the leader, Adam Newbert. Important to note, though, if this race does go green the rest of the way, these drivers will likely have to stop for fuel. I don't think they have pitted close enough to be able to make it to the end, even with all the caution laps. It was well over 40 laps the last time most of these drivers pitted, so should be interesting to see how that plays out here.
It's very interesting indeed, with only 24 laps to go here. You just mentioned, Tyler, of course, that fuel window is 32 to 37. So a lot of these drivers will be pushing the envelope here to see which driver wants to maybe stay out and push it to the end. But as you mentioned, Tyler, a lot of these drivers have to head down pit road at some point. It's just, when do you time it here in the late stages of this race?
Yeah, Newbert's now pulled out to a 2.1 second over Sean Hamilton. Really, things are just going from bad to worse for everyone trying to chase Adam Newbert, but going great for Adam Newbert up front. Our pole sitter, he is looking comfortable.
Very comfortable indeed, almost like he is relaxing, and that lazy boy has his feet up, has a nice cold drink to his right or left on that table. He is just chilling, relaxing there at the top of the grid with 22 laps to go. But we have to keep in mind that a lot of these leaders have to head down pit road at some point. So even though Adam Newbert has a large lead right now, we are going to see a bit of a reshuffle, a bit of a mix-up here in these late stages, and we're going to see which truck is going to be the truck that comes out of all this chaos, all this calamity is going to be the top truck at the end of this race.
Fastest lap last time around goes to the 7th place truck, Tyler Thurman. He was 3 laps down at one point in this race, got back on the lead lap thanks to all the chaos that ensued. He's trying to chase down the leader, but he has a lot of trucks he's got to beat before he can make his way up to the front.
Yeah, but still, my hat's off to that one truck here tonight. We spoke to him before we started this broadcast here tonight. We interviewed him about his Hard Luck Award-winning award that he got from his performance at Pocono, one of the strongest trucks out there. Unfortunately, he didn't finish the way that he wanted to, though. And you see that front end damage on that one machine that's probably causing a little bit of a decrease in speed here tonight. But Tyler, though, has taken that bad finish from last week here and has really put forth a great effort. And if all holds here tonight, he's going to get a top 10 here at Texas.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit more than that. He's just got to kind of run his race for the time being. Adam Newbert still leads out front by over 2 seconds over Justin White, who's got back around Sean Hamilton. Nathan Maurer sits in 4th, and Raul Meza rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, as this race is ticking down here at Texas. The leader is going to take us down into 1 and 2. We're going to keep an eye on Brady LaBeouf there in that 9 truck. Doesn't look like he's going to make it happen. Captain here going back to back it, although still going to be a great run out of that LSU Tiger-inspired machine here tonight. Going to check in with our race leader of Adam Newbert there. Newbert can ride on board here. He's going to take us around the track here at Texas with an over a 2-second lead.
As you look, he's going to take that late arc into 1 and 2, try and find that late apex, allow him to get back on the gas, get a good run off of 2. You see very little wheel input off the corner that allows the car to that truck to naturally slide up towards that outside wall. As he gets down here in 3 and 4, he's just going to put that on the white line, hold that as close as he can, minimize any back and forth at the wheel. He's going to have a nice smooth lap here, just a perfect lap on old tires around Texas Motor Speedway. But with all that being said, Justin White is closing. That lead went from 2.2 seconds about 4 laps ago to 1.6 seconds this lap.
Ooh, it's starting to build. The anticipation, the anxiousness here. The closing stages of the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. We're going to have quite the battle here to see who can win race number 3 of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. As we're going to see these drivers now start to head down pit road. Looks like some dominoes are starting to fall. These looks like drivers here at the tail end of this pack are starting to head down. Now with 16 laps to go, Tyler, let's see which domino is going to fall here at the top of this grid.
That lead dropped another 2/10. That lead is 1.4 seconds this time by. Justin White's bringing Sean Hamilton with him. Nathan Maurer getting a little bit left behind those two. In 2nd and 3rd place are hunting down your leader, Adam Newbert. As you look at Tyler Thurman under Cody Trantham, that is for position number 6. Give Tyler Thurman 6th place. Yeah. And we have a new race leader. Adam Newbert has pitted. Our race leader has pitted. Justin White is taking over the lead. Raul Meza pits. Here comes the green flag cycles. This is for all the marbles here, though.
Yeah, and the dominoes are starting to fall here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Here we are live, bringing you the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 from the Texas Motor Speedway here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. We have 15 laps to go. We are getting ready for our green flag pit stops as a lot of our leaders have now headed down here with less than 14 laps to go. Let's see which truck is going to come out of all of this as our race leader. It looks like Raul Meza is going to be right behind Adam Newbert off pit road.
Meza gains a lot on Newbert on that stop. Meza having a great entry and exit. Newbert probably taking it a little too cautiously. That's going to shuffle things around. That's going to be a very interesting battle once things cycle out here. I don't like what Justin and Hamilton are doing unless they think they can make it to the end, because if some of these drivers who have pitted got fresh tires, they're going to be making up much more ground than these two who are staying out on old tires for longer. So generally, I like to pit first. I think that's the fastest way of doing it. And this might be the undoing of White and Hamilton tonight.
Yeah, for those drivers that are coming off pit road here, if White and Hamilton stay out on the track, those drivers that did head down pit road and get a set of freshies on there, when they come flying by, it's going to look like Ghost Rider with those wheels on fire as they come blazing past them. Because we saw what freshies can do to these trucks here tonight. It's almost like you have a firework underneath that thing, and that thing is lit, and you are rocking and rolling around the track. We're going to have a few drivers with those warmed up, fresh, and hot tires here at Texas. And for Hamilton and White, they have to know that here, so they have to build as much cushion as they can before this race concludes.
Yeah, Hamilton and White, what a battle for the lead we have here, though, in the meantime. Hamilton looks to be a little bit more confident entering the corner. He's going to be looking to the outside of White here in a 1 and 2, but he's not going to be close enough to overlap. Although White's going to get held up, it looks like, by a lap car getting his truck into dirty air. He's not going to like the way that handles. Brandon Broadfoot kind of getting in the way of the leaders there. But they're going to get by him pretty cleanly on the backstretch. Good timing. Tyler Thurman, though, starting to hunt down the leaders. Driver you can't count out quite yet.
No, not at all. Right there in that one truck. Of course, we spoke about his award that he won for the baddest luck of the race last week at Pocono. But here tonight, that one truck has turned his luck around right inside the top 10, inside the top 5. And they're going to go around Tim Hammond there to the inside, a car that we just saw get tangled up. Not very happy about that entanglement there, Tyler. We forgot to mention that Tim didn't feel pretty good about what happened at 69 truck here once again. He got tangled up at Pocono and here tonight at Texas, but just going to carry on throughout the season here. Still in a pretty good point standings here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, but we see this battle taking place now between White and Hamilton. This is currently a battle for the lead down to 1 and 2.
Yeah, but this battle for the lead has allowed Maurer to close the gap, as you're seeing Maurer just sneaking into the picture there. When we went through 1 and 2, White a little bit of a gap there on Hamilton exiting 2. Tim Hammond, though, I mean, his luck of not being able to be there at the end of these races continues. Only one top 10 on the season. Nothing's going to change with that tonight. He will not finish inside the top 10, barring some chaos. Bauer's down pit road.
Yeah, Nathan Maurer is down pit road now, and it's really just a two-truck race here on the track currently. As now we're going to take an eye out on Brady LaBeouf there in that 9. Currently just racing around. We have Thurman there in the 1. We have Tratham there in the 22. And then Brady LaBeouf is way down in the 5th position there in that 9. That's currently our top 5 here on the racetrack, as we just saw the 6th place car of Nathan Maurer head down. But with less than 8 laps to go here, Tyler, it looks like these top 2 drivers are going to push that envelope. They're going to race their trucks to the end, because any sort of pit stop right now would all but seal their chances at a race victory.
28 is pitting this time. Justin White just called out. He is coming down. He's going for a splash and dash scenario. White cannot make it to the end. Hamilton now is going to try and hold the mantle. He's backed off of White considerably to allow White to have a clean entry into pit road. Hamilton's going to continue on. As you see, our race leader, Justin White, dropped down. Tyler Thurman, 4.5 seconds behind Hamilton. I don't think he has enough speed to catch him. Hamilton, though, has got to hope he has enough fuel in that 89 truck to get to victory lane, as Brady LaBeouf's down pit road as well.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf's going to head down as well. Currently was running inside the top 5. So going to be a great finish out of the 28 and the 9 truck here, but now all focus is on the top of the grid. Is Thurman going to have enough speed and have enough guys to work with to try to chase down Hamilton, a driver that has raced spectacularly here tonight, a driver that seemingly hasn't slipped out of the top 3, top 5 at all here tonight, Tyler. So if there's any driver that deserves the victory, it is Hamilton there in that 89. He has raced the doors off of that truck here at Texas. He wants that 10-gallon hat. He wants to shoot off the 6 shooters in victory lane. He wants that awesome Texas barbecue for a victory dinner here tonight. And he is cruising around the corners here. He's going to come to the line here with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Newbert and Maurer unlapping themselves there. Thurman slowly chasing him down, but I don't think he's going to do it unless he thinks he can make it to the end. Hamilton must think he can make it to the end. He's got 4 laps to go still, Hamilton. He's got Raul Meza trying to unlap himself behind him. Adam Newbert, after pitting, is cycled out to 4th on the track behind Trantham and Thurman. Hamilton's still your race leader for the time being, and it looks like Hamilton may have enough fuel to do it. He pitted a little bit later than all the others, so maybe a strategy call by Hamilton, Thurman, and Trantham is going to get them to the end of this race and a win here tonight for Hamilton.
And we'll see right now. He's going to come across this line with 3 laps to go. Throw up those 3s. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, because we have 3 laps to go here in the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. This is the 3rd race of the season here. We spent a couple weeks at Daytona, and then we went to Pocono, and here tonight at Texas. It's been one heck of a race, as well as now Thurman's trying to reel in Hamilton here in the late stages of this race, and I just don't think he's going to find the gap, find the draft to be able to do so.
Thurman looked like he had it, but he might be out of gas now. Trantham ran out of gas. He went down pit road. Thurman is out of gas, that's for sure. Hamilton going 147 miles an hour. He may be out of gas. Things have drastically changed. Hamilton significantly off the pace. Where is Adam Newbert? Can he get around? 2 laps to go. Adam Newbert currently is on the front straightaway, I believe. He is on the front straightaway coming to the line this time. You're going to have Sean Hamilton out of gas. He may have to pit. I mean, does he have enough to get around?
Wow, what a finish here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching along with us here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, this is quite the shakeup of events right now. Looks like Hamilton is out of gas here on the final lap. He is slowly just coasting that thing around corners 1 and 2. Is Thurman out of gas as well? It looks like he is, as well as he's trying to get back onto the gas here. Thurman is definitely out of gas there. He's going to go to the inside there on the backstretch. Looks like, though, Hamilton's going to have enough fuel to close out the race here tonight as we come off of quarter number 4. Hamilton's our race leader in the 89.
Hamilton may not have enough gas for a burnout, but he has enough gas to get to victory lane. Sean Hamilton wins the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here at Texas in a fuel mile survival race. Tyler Thurman looks like he'll come home. No, he's not going to come home second. He runs out of gas. Adam Newbert steals second. Tyler Thurman will drop to 3rd. at the line. Just an absolutely ecstatic fuel mileage race here at the end.
Yeehaw to Sean Hamilton there in that 89 machine. He gets the 10-gallon hat. He gets to shoot off the 6-shooters, but he's going to need some help getting the victory lane because it looks like our top 3 drivers were out of gas there at the end.
Yeah, Tim Hammond, his teammate for HD Motorsports, is going to push your winner, Sean Hamilton, around to the front straightaway so you can at least get that photo out front. But there will be no burnout tonight, sadly, here in Texas. Sean Hamilton wins by survival fuel mileage race. And Tyler Thurman almost did the same thing. But Thurman ran out of gas just a little bit before Hamilton. Thurman will drop to third. Your second place finisher will be the dominant truck all night, Adam Newberg.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there, Tyler, as frustrating as a run has been for Tim Hammond there in that 69 truck, it's going to make it all the best here to be an awesome teammate, to push your teammate there to the line, be able to celebrate with him, even though your teammate's out of gas, even though you didn't have the best night yourself there in that 69 truck. The 89 is going to snatch a victory for HD Motorsports there, as it looks like we're going to have 3 trucks celebrating there on the front stretch for HD Motorsports. What a huge win it was, Tyler. We talked about the conclusion of that race of who was going to push the envelope, who was going to stay out, who was going to take that gamble. And here tonight, it was Sean Hamilton picking up a huge victory here at Texas Motor Speedway.
They don't ask how, they just ask if. And sometimes that's all you have to do to lock yourself into the playoffs. And that's what Sean Hamilton did tonight. He did exactly what he needed to do, save just enough gas. I mean, his last 2 laps around were unbelievably slow, over 35-second lap times, when your fastest lap of the race was a 30.077 by Adam Newbert, who'd ran that around lap 103. So tough break for Adam Newbert. The dominant truck all night, led 42 laps, led the most laps of the race. But at the end of the day, Sean Hamilton did exactly what he needed to do to get himself in the victory lane.
He really did. And I think it was just the consistency of his race here tonight, Tyler. You know, a driver that never really slipped. We saw him early on in this race inside the top 3, inside the top 5, throughout all the chaos, throughout all the caution flags, throughout everything that we had here tonight, all the wrecks, all the spin outs, everything. It was always Sean Hamilton that was in the mix. We called his name out a lot here tonight. It was a great showing for HD Motorsports to get this win here tonight. And as you mentioned, he's going to lock himself into the playoffs here and have a lot of momentum going into week 4.
Most definitely, as we're just trying to get all of our podium finishers up here. A quick look at the race results, but I'm going to pull in first our 3rd place finisher, Tyler Thurman. Had a black flag early on. You went 3 laps down, but the chaos of all the cautions that happened allowed you to get back on the lead lap and kind of compete for that win. What led to you kind of be able to make that comeback, and how important was it to you to try and stretch that field to ensure you had a good finish overnight?
Well, I'm not going to talk about that black flag because, yeah. But, the cautions fell. I was able to get back on the lead lap, and I saved my tires as long as I could. Then once I got back on the lead lap, I took the tires, and I thought I was going to have to pit, and then I guess I saved the draft enough, and I looked at my fuel on my gauge, and it told me I had a lap and a half with 2 to go. So I knew Sean was going to do the same thing, and so I just told him, I said, don't worry about me, I'm not going to race you since we're on the same team. And I just backed off and pushed the clutch in and just tried to coast as long as I could, and I ran out of gas coming into turn 3. So Adam got around me, but I'll take P3 after that comeback all day. So.
And a comeback it was. You go from the Hard Luck Award winner from Blanchard's Towing Recovery last week to a podium this week, a big turn of events, and a really solid finish for you in HD Motorsports. What's it like to turn that luck around and get going on the season now on the right foot going into next week?
Yeah, I mean, this is a long season, like I said before the race, and you just got to take the good with the bad and just try to be there at the end. Stay out of trouble, save your tires as much as you can. These are big fields, and so you got guys that are going to burn their tires up pretty fast. And I think I've shown that even last week I started in the back. I started 18th tonight. I'm not a very good, strong qualifier, but if you just save your tires and you get some green flag runs, you should be there at the end. So you know that the stage break's going to come and you pit. So if you can gain positions during the green flag run and once the tires even out, just hold your position, get the caution, and you get some fresh tires when the time comes, and you can be there at the end.
Well, before we let you go, Tyler, is there anyone you'd like to thank? And again, congrats on the third place finish.
Yeah, my girlfriend Chelsea and my buddy Ricky that always watches, and thank Crystal Clear Window Cleaners, Bomb Squad, and Hill Aircraft for my sponsorships this year, paying my entry fees, and yeah, HT Motorsports for having me along. I know the two guys had a rough night tonight, but me and Sean were trying to battle up, and we were talking strategy a little bit in our chats, but glad that me and Sean could pull out two podiums tonight for us and help us in the team championship at least.
Well, congrats again, and thanks for talking with us, and hopefully we'll be talking with you again next week.
Yes, sir. See you then.
And now we're going to be joined by our second place finisher, the dominant truck all evening, leader of the most laps, fastest lap of the race, Adam. You didn't have enough fuel there at the end to make it. You had to make that late pit stop. Did you think that Sean and Tyler were going to be able to save as much fuel as they did to make it to the end?
Yeah, I'm shocked, Tyler. I don't know how they did it. I don't think they pitted in those late cautions, but I'm not sure. I'm just kind of shocked. I kind of felt like we had one stolen from us right there. Felt like we were the best truck all night long, especially me and my teammate Justin. I mean, I felt like we were the class of the field, especially on the long runs. Kind of felt like we had one stolen there.
Yeah, it looks like from what we saw with the reviews of the pit stops that they had put on that last caution with about 35 to 37 to go, just giving them enough, it seems, to make the end. When you saw that they were running out of fuel, did you think you maybe had enough speed to get back around, as it looked like you were able to get it back around Tyler, but not around Sean?
Well, I had my teammate Justin spotting for me after he had gotten wrecked out of the race, and he was telling me what everybody was doing. He told me that Tyler had ran out, and I was going to get him, but he said Sean made it. So, needed one more lap. Maybe should have taken two tires on that pit stop. Maybe would have been up there closer to him. Who knows?
Well, still an impressive performance from you tonight, Adam, and showing that you are definitely a driver to be reckoned with as the season goes on and on. Hopefully you'll get that win later on here, probably at one of these mile and a half where you seem to be very, very dominant. But before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, we're certainly going to be back. We're definitely going to win some races this season. I'm not going to let, another race like this happen. I'd like to thank my team, Stick With It Motorsports, Jeff Stickles, Team Motor. I think he's watching. Thank my teammates, Justin Lumpkin, Brian Chu, Zach Hartwick. All three of those guys had some bad luck. Justin, all three of those guys are fast, but just had some bad luck. And I'd like to thank Darren's Nail Gun Repair, KFM, Marshall Energy, A's Lawn and Landscaping, VFW Post Tacoma, Millie's Landing. I'd like to thank you guys up here in the booth. I'd like to thank Brady for putting on another good series, Sim Racer Hub, and everybody that helps put it together.
We thank you for all your kind words, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week. But enjoy the second place. I know it's a little bit bittersweet, but definitely putting a little bit of money in your pocket. Good points today, nonetheless.
Thank y'all.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the winner of the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200, Sean Hamilton. Sean, you had just enough fuel there to make it to the end. Your teammate Tim Hammond had to push you around the front stretch so you could at least get that nice photo at the end of the race. What was it like those last few laps as you saw that you were not going to make it exactly to the end with the amount of fuel you needed?
Yeah, that was a wild race and a wild finish. Around 5 to go, I was looking at my fuel and checking the relative to see how far people were behind, coordinating with my team. And they were thinking I should pit, but I just figured I could coast, go into neutral down a couple back stretches. I ended up running out of fuel in turn 3 of the final lap and just managed to eke it out right in time.
When you pit with about, I believe, 35 to 37 to go, was your entire strategy from that point out to make it to the end, or were you thinking that I may be pitting here if we go green and try and just stick with the field? Or was that a conscious decision at that point with 35, 37 to go, saying, I'm going to make this last as long as I can?
It was, yes, because I ended up I had to take care of something with my child during the race, which threw me to the back with an EOL while I was sitting in first. And so I had to go off the pit strategy. So I pit under that yellow that I figured was probably going to be the last yellow of the race, and thought, a lot of people have to pit here. If I can manage to do this just right, we might be okay.
Well, you did do it just right, and a great night for HD Motorsports, finishing first and third. I know a couple of your teammates didn't have the nights that they wanted with Tim Hammond and other drivers on the team, Adam Cantwell, I believe, but still a very solid finish tonight for the team, first and third. Again, congratulations on winning the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here at Texas. Before we let you go tonight, Sean, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Always want to thank the lead, want to thank Brady for running everything. Great race with him, by the way. Thank HD Motorsports, and just thank all the drivers out there as well as the casters. You guys are what makes this so enjoyable to watch, and a lot of us love going back and watching it after the race, so thanks.
Of course, and we love putting on these great races that you guys get to show us, and we get to put this out for everyone that's watching here at home. And again, congrats on the win, Sean. You're locked in the playoffs. I know it has to feel great moving on. You can kind of be a little bit more aggressive, trying to get more wins and playoff points throughout the season instead of chasing points the rest of the way.
Yeah, feels good, and we're ready to help get the rest of the boys to the playoffs as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Sean. And that was your winner, Sean Hamilton of the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200 here at Texas Motor Speedway. And, Will, it was an up and down race. We saw long green flag runs. We saw big wrecks. We saw a fuel mileage survival at the end of this race. I mean, what more could you ask for in a mile and a half?
Oof, I don't think you could ask for any more here tonight, Tyler. We said it. We came on air here tonight. We said everything is bigger in Texas, and everything was bigger here tonight. The action was bigger. The crashes were bigger. The strategies were bigger. The finish was even crazy at the end, Tyler. What a race it was from the Texas Motor Speedway here tonight, and I cannot wait to see what next week has in store here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
Yeah, and we look forward to future races throughout the season. We only know that the product's going to get better. These drivers get used to each other. We see even longer green flag runs. But interesting to note, I think the rivalries that we saw last week at Pocono are going to keep carrying on, because there are a lot of pissed off drivers after tonight's race, and that'll make for a very entertaining season throughout, Will.
I think so too, Tyler. You can't have a league or a season without those type of battles going on week in and week out. I think in some cases, though, Tyler, it pushes some of these drivers to be better, to race better, and even getting hard luck awards. We saw that at Thurman here tonight. He took that hard luck award. He turned his luck around here tonight. Unfortunately, he ran out of gas there at the very end. Had a great run here tonight. So I feel like with those rivalries and those other guys pushing you, we could see some more surprise winners and some more surprise finishes here as we go along this season.
Well, before we sign off for the night, we want to again say thank you to Millie's Restaurant and Catering for sponsoring the race here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway for the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 200. We want to again say congratulations to the winner, Sean Hamilton, number 89 of HD Motorsports, getting HD Motorsports' first regular season win on the season. That's 3 different winners through 3 races. Will the trend continue next week? Tune in next week to find out. Again, my name's Tyler Dittmer for Will Tiller in the booth and Adam Flieger, our producer. Again, thank you for watching, and we wish you all a good night.